reminding the modern world that even the largest steel ships are at the mercy of the inland seas.
Jeez. Names rooted in the indigenous history.
The cultural geography of the region is deeply woven into the names of the lakes themselves, four of which derive directly from the languages of the indigenous peoples who have lived along their shores for millennia. Michigan is an adaptation of the Ojibwe word Michigami, which translates simply to
I've heard of Michigami before. I think I've seen it, like, heard of it in, like, TV shows.
great water. Ontario comes from the Wyandot word, believed to mean lake of shining waters. Erie was named by early French explorers after the Eries tribe, an Iroquois group who lived along its southern shores. Huron is the exception, being a name given by the French to the local Wyandot people. Acknowledging these names is a constant reminder of the complex, rich First Nations and Native American history that predates European arrival by thousands of years.
The canal that built an empire.
In the early 19th century, the formidable Appalachian Mountains acted as a massive geographic wall blocking the movement of goods and people between the Atlantic coast and the resource-rich interior of North America.
I have seen a video actually into this, how these mountains were like a barrier for so many years.
This all changed in 1825 with the completion of the Erie Canal. This monumental engineering feat artificially connected the Hudson River Valley in New York directly to Lake Erie. Almost overnight, transport costs for bulk goods plummeted by 95%.
They went
The canal funneled the immense agricultural wealth of the Midwest straight into New York, bypassing the alternative route down the Mississippi River. This geographic pivot fueled a massive population boom in the Great Lakes Basin and cemented New York City's status as the financial and commercial capital of the United States.
First of all, I gotta turn down the fucking music.
Chicago rapidly industrialized
General graphics input accessibility.
Massive geographic and public health crisis. The city's sewage was flowing directly into the Chicago River, which emptied into Lake Michigan, the exact same place the city drew its drinking water.
Come on!
Loop caused devastating
That's disgusting!
outbreaks of waterborne diseases like cholera and typhoid. Engineers executed one of the most audacious infrastructure projects in history.
What did they do?
They reversed the flow of the Chicago River.
I'm not a riverologist, right? But how on earth do you reverse a river?
Completed in 1900, a massive canal system was cut through the subcontinental divide. By artificially lowering the river's channel, the water was forced to flow backward, sending Chicago's wastewater south towards the Mississippi.
So you manually just like put the river on a steep?
Alright, I'm gonna do the survival, because it seems like that's kind of the one they...
The moon and that, right? I know the moon is because of waves. But I surely...
Because I feel like this is the way the game is meant to be played. So, our ship looks pretty cool. Other than the fact that it's on fire and there's large holes in the hull.
I suppose like you make it and it would just
But I figured in the showroom this thing probably looks pretty sharp, man.
Hydrology of the region to protect its freshwater source.
Crucial naval theater.
It's strange to think of naval warfare taking place in the middle of a continent. But during the War of 1812, the Great Lakes were a fiercely contested war zone. Both the United States and the British Empire recognized that controlling these waters meant controlling the vital supply lines to the North American interior. This led to intense arm races and shipbuilding campaigns on the shores of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. The conflict peaked at the Battle of Lake Erie in 1813. Where American forces under Oliver Hazard Perry decisively defeated the British fleet. The stalemate of the broader war ultimately led to the Rush-Bagot Treaty of 1817, which strictly limited
it's taking a long time to load.
lakes and established the foundation for the famously demilitarized U.S.-Canada border.
Hey, Shoujo.
Time in the megalopolis.
Today, the Great Lakes region is far more than a geographic feature. It's an economic
Beautiful,
The area forms a massive cross-border megalopolis stretching from Chicago and Milwaukee in the west, through Detroit and Cleveland, all the way to Toronto and Montreal in the east. Roughly 60 million people, almost a fifth of the U.S. population and a quarter of Canada's, call this basin home. Population historically into this. Call this
60 million people around this area.
million people, almost a fifth of the U.S. population, and a quarter of Canada's, called this basin home. Because of its dense population, historic manufacturing infrastructure, and vast agricultural output, the region is a global powerhouse.
Right.
In the Great Lakes region, or an independent country, its highly integrated binational economy will generate a GDP of over $6 trillion US.
That's more than the UK, isn't it? I swear the UK is like $3 trillion.
Making it the third or fourth largest economy in the world.
Wait, and that's just taking out the small part of America around the Great Lakes.
Heavily driving
What am I doing?
Supply chain.
That's mad. The busiest lock system in the world.
To move heavy cargo from the mines of the upper Midwest to the steel mills of the lower lakes, massive freighters must navigate the St. Mary's River, which connects Lake Superior to Lake Huron. However, the river features a treacherous 21-foot drop over a series of violent rapids. The solution is the Sioux Locks, located in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. These engineering marvels are the busiest lock system in the world based on the tonnage of cargo that passes through.
I don't know what a lock system is. I assume it's this, but what does it do?
Handling around 10,000 vessel passages a year, the locks lift and lower massive ships carrying 86 million tons of cargo.
Oh, the locks is the things that like drain the water to pull it on level with the next part of the water, right?
Alright.
Why don't the water just naturally go down or whatever? Why do you have to do the lock? Like, what is the exact reason for the lock?
Primarily iron ore, coal, and grain. This single geographic choke point is so critical that any prolonged shutdown would send shockwaves through the entire North American manufacturing economy.
Oh, really? The drinking valve for millions.
Beyond global trade and heavy industry, the most critical function of the Great Lakes today is sustaining human life. Rekt is the primary drinking fountain for more than 30 million people in the United States and Canada. This staggering reliance makes water quality management one of the most pressing human geography issues of the 21st century. The lakes face constant modern threats. Agricultural runoff,
I feel like I should go get that thing.
Balloons, particularly in the shallow, warmer waters of Lake Erie, legacy industrial pollution, and invasive species like zebra mussels that disrupt the food web. Protecting this watershed requires...
Wait, how do you even deal with stuff like that? So, like, let's say that, like, the companies are putting their, you know, their sewer stuff, or like, you know, their waste into the lakes that you drink from. Like, I know you filter in that, but oh man, that's gross.
Species like zebra mussels that disrupt the food web. Protecting this watershed requires constant, complex international cooperation between 2 federal governments, 8 U.S. states, 2 Canadian provinces, and numerous tribal nations.
Right.
Guess I don't have a...
Incredibly complex islands. Oh, is there islands in the Great Lakes?
While usually associated
makes sense.
with vast open horizons, the Great Lakes...
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. I think I'm like in somewhere like the Caribbean or something.
Also boast a surprisingly complex island geography.
Wow.
There are over 35,000 islands scattered throughout the system, creating unique, isolated ecosystems and isolated
Moose go for a swim.
communities.
Okay.
The crown jewel of this island system is Manitoulin Island, located in the Canadian waters of Lake Huron. Not only is it the largest freshwater island in the world, large enough to support a permanent population of around 13,000 people, but its geography gets even more bizarre. Manitoulin is so large that it contains over 100 of its own lakes. Fascinatingly, some of
cool, alright. I thought I would drown if,
islands, creating mind-bending geographical anomalies.
Wait, so... so an island in a lake has its own lakes with also islands in their lake. Bro, what is going on?
Of islands on lakes on an island in a lake.
What is going on? Yo, do those islands in the lake or the island in the lake, do they happen to also have lakes in the island and the lake? I'm lost, I'm confused. International Maritime Highway.
The Great Lakes aren't just an internal transport network. They're connected directly to the global economy via the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway. Completed in the 1950s, this massive system of locks, canals, and dredged channels allows deep draft ocean-going vessels, often called salties, from all over the globe to sail straight into the heart of the North American continent. Because of this artificial geographic connection, a ship can load a cargo of grain at the port in Duluth, Minnesota, which holds the title of being the furthest inland freshwater port in the world, and sail continuously for over 2,300 miles. bypassing waterfalls and rapids until it reaches the Atlantic Ocean and heads off to international markets. There's not another single
That would take so long. How long does it take on average? You know what, I'm actually
Why did that happen?
to like information of like how much money did they make? What did they charge? Like, you know, in like transportation, because that shit is carrying all its cargo, but that's got to be expensive. Because it can only carry so much. I know it's a big ship, but it can only carry so much. And it's got to travel all the way, which is going to take weeks.
Whoa, then I guess I can't go there.
Fast, right? And then it's got to go across the ocean. Well, how long does it travel? Let's say like this is coming to the UK, right? I know you guys aren't going to tell me about every single information about it, but maybe I should find a video. I don't know. It's actually interesting.
the Atlantic Ocean and heads off to international markets. There's not another single geographic feature more prominent or more important to the United States and Canada as the Great Lakes.
Right.
They are, for lack of a better term, the continent's savings account when it comes to fresh water.
Right.
And because of that, they've developed as one of the most important cultural and
I don't know what that is, but it looks aggressive.
In the world.
For sure. The fact it provides so much fresh water is insane. But very good video, very interesting video. Let me know how you guys enjoyed this in the comment section. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I do stream every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Directed by David L. Hewitt in 1965 for $33,000, and funded entirely by a group of vending machine operators, which should tell you everything. This is a movie where 4 astronauts crash land on Mars, paddle inflatable rafts down canals, fight what appear to be industrial drainage pipes, wander through caves for roughly 9 geological eras, and eventually meet the floating, disembodied head of John Carradine, who proceeds to deliver a monologue so long and so baffling that several audience members have reportedly aged visibly during it. Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and on this episode, I'm going to be talking about the movie, The Wizard from Mars. This film is, against all reason, a loose science fiction retelling of The Wizard of Oz. There's a woman named Dorothy, there's a golden road, there's a wizard who's just a big floating head, there are 4 companions, the ending implies it was all a dream. What there isn't, however, is a budget, scientific accuracy, convincing special effects, competent acting, or any evidence that anyone involved had ever seen a real spaceship, a real astronaut, or a real movie. The film opens on a starfield that looks like someone flicked a wet paintbrush at a sheet of black construction paper. The film's score, credited to Electron Effects by Frank A. Coe, not music, not composition, Electron Effects. It's the kind of credit that tells you the production couldn't afford a musician, but could afford a man with a broken theremin and a grudge against the audience. Multiple sources confirm that the score lifts sound effects directly from Forbidden Planet, so the Electron Effects are less inspired by and more stolen from. The difference between homage and theft is whether or not you have a lawyer, and at $33,000, I can pretty much guarantee nobody here had a lawyer. The technical advisor is listed as Forrest J. Ackerman, the legendary editor of Famous Monsters of Filmland. His qualifications for advising on the science of interplanetary travel were, as far as anyone can tell, that he liked monsters and owned a magazine. The results speak for themselves. The camera slowly crawls down the interior of Mars Probe 1, and we immediately learn what $33,000 buys you in 1965, a set made from drywall. Tape covering the joints has bubbled and peeled. Reel-to-reel machines pose unconvincingly as futuristic technology. You got a bunch of blinking lights that serve no discernible purpose. Then we meet our 4 heroes. Captain Steve has the stiffest hair and the squarest jaw, so by 1960s B-movie law, he's the leader. Charlie is the co-pilot and comic relief, a man who radiates the energy of someone who wandered onto set looking for a bathroom and just never left. Doc is the scientist with the mustache who delivers every line like he's both startled to be on camera and deeply committed to ignoring that fact. And Dorothy is the sole woman aboard, operating the camera scopes, and she is conspicuously post-dubbed throughout the film, Sometimes her lips aren't even moving at all. It's like watching a foreign film where the dubbing budget was one take and a shrug. Steve picks up a microphone and announces that they're switching from voice to visual-only communication because of static interference. In reality, audio is vastly easier to transmit than video, but I suppose when your technical advisor is a horror magazine editor, you take what you can get. A clock on the wall, an analog clock with actual ticking hands in a spaceship, reads January 1st, 1975. The distant, unfathomable future. A full decade from when this movie was made. The film is confidently predicting that in 10 years, humanity will have interplanetary travel, 9-month crewed missions to Mars, and camera systems operated by periscopes instead of monitors. Hewitt was wrong about the spaceships, but he nailed the periscopes. Oh no, wait, he got those wrong too. And Charlie delivers his first quip when wished Happy New Year by ground control.
Oh, and incidentally, gang, Happy New Year.
Standing by. Oh, and Happy New Year. Toot toot.
This is the comedic highlight of his performance, and also the comedic highlight of the next 75 minutes. The view screen displays a navigational grid with compass markings for north, south, east, and west. In space, where those directions do not exist. It also shows a drawing of Mars that sways back and forth like it's had a long night. As the ship enters its tighter orbit, enormous red balls of light begin flying past the windows.
Alright,
One comes right at the ship.
I'm not
Dorothy,
100%
whose
sure.
lips do not move, shouts, "Watch out, there's another one ahead."
There's another one ahead.
Nobody in the history of space travel has been so clearly
Can I
dubbed.
sleep or something?
Not even Hal. And this is where Charlie delivers what might be the film's best line.
We had to go to Mars. We couldn't go to the moon like everybody else.
The crash sequence is astonishing in its refusal to depict anything actually happening. Stock footage plays on the view screen, then they cut to static on the monitor, and that's it. That's the crash. We never actually see the ship crash, not even a wobble. Not even a stock footage explosion. After the world's most sedentary crash landing, the crew stands around inside the wrecked ship, already fully suited in their spacesuits. There is absolutely no crash damage visible anywhere. The drywall survived impact with an alien planet better than it survived the original set construction. Dorothy, being the only person on board with a functioning brain cell, suggests, "The transmitter works. We could send a call for help." Steve shoots this down because they lost communication before the crash. And then Dorothy inquires, "What's to stop us from trying a Mayday call now?" This is an excellent question, and the movie never answers it. The rest of the crew is just like, what if nobody even hears the Mayday call? Then what? Obviously, the best thing to do is just go wander around outside. That's what's safe, Dorothy. So they decide to trek across the Martian surface to find the jettisoned main stage of their ship. The estimated travel time? 3 weeks by raft. Their oxygen supply? 90 hours. The math does not work, and once again, Dorothy raises the question because she's the only person who can put 2 and 2 together.
And what do we do if we're out there, when our tank hits zero?
They do, however, have enough fortified liquid nutrient reserves for 2 to 3 weeks, which raises the question of why an orbital mapping mission packed a month of emergency food in 2 inflatable military rafts. This brings us to the film's single greatest scientific atrocity, the oxygen booster. Steve's plan is to crack open the intake valves on their helmets, allowing the thin Martian atmosphere to seep in and mix with their suit oxygen.
Will it work?
Sure it'll work. No reason why it shouldn't.
In reality, Mars's atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide, so opening your suit to it wouldn't boost your oxygen, it would replace it with poison, basically. You would suffocate badly. But Doc is delighted. Doc thinks this is genius. Doc is why Forrest J. Ackerman should not have been the technical advisor. Then, a small fire breaks out near the door. Charlie, our patron saint of common sense, says, "Never mind that official business, let's get out of here before she explodes." So they grab supplies, including the 2 inexplicable inflatable rafts, oars, and a rifle, and abandoned ship. Doc announces that they've seen no signs of life. The camera, in a moment of pure cinematic betrayal, clearly shows a shrub and grass poking through the surface directly behind him. They reach a canal and deploy the inflatable rafts. 4 astronauts in full spacesuits, sitting in rubber dinghies, paddling down a Martian river with oars. And now it appears as if they're all dead. I guess that whole breathing in 95% carbon dioxide thing didn't work out so well. This is the most realistic scene in the movie. But suddenly, the aliens appear. What we actually get are 3 lengths of ribbed plastic tubing with what appear to be rubber leaves glued to the ends. They look like something that fell off the back of a plumbing supply truck and developed ambitions. They have the screen presence of wet laundry. One flops onto Charlie's chest with all the predatory...
Can I salvage any of this stuff?
Charlie fires his gun wildly while others poke at the creatures with oars. The raft visibly bumps one of the creatures and just pushes it out of the way. It offers no resistance because it is, at the end of the day, a tube. The canal leads underground into a cave system, and this is where the movie makes its boldest artistic choice. Nothing happens for 15 minutes. The crew paddles through the cave, and Steve tests the oxygen booster by popping his helmet visor open.
Seems to work okay.
They all open their helmets and breathe normally for the rest of the movie. Mars's deadly atmosphere has been defeated by the power of not thinking about it. Dorothy, who has been inside a cavern for some time, looks around and announces, "A cavern." Then, staring at cave walls that look like dried brains, she says she's never seen anything so beautiful. Dorothy has either very weird taste when it comes to decor, or very limited life experience. What follows is an extended walking sequence that has the potential to put you to sleep. They walk through the cave for what feels like forever. Eventually, they reach a volcanic cavern. Doc, earning his salary as the exposition machine, announces, "A volcanic cavern!" They edge around a lake of lava while pressed against the cavern wall, despite the path being clearly wide enough to walk normally. This goes on for an eternity until they finally escape through a tunnel to the surface just before the volcano erupts. And you might be thinking, okay, well, 15 minutes of nothing, yeah, but maybe the volcano eruption will be pretty cool. Well, take a good look, because this is all you're getting. The eruption basically consists of a Roman candle shooting sparks into the air. Mars' geological fury, represented by a firework you can buy at a roadside stand in July. Back on the Martian surface, they pick up a signal that they believe is their mainstay. The walking sequences in this film are so extensive and so uneventful that if you edited them all together, you could create a reasonably effective meditation tape. They crest a hill and discover not their ship, but a USAF automated biolab that was sent to Mars 2 years earlier.
Oh, no.
Same, girl, same. I was really hopeful that something was going to happen since we've been through 20 minutes of basically nothing. Now, Charlie has a breakdown and shoots the probe with his rifle, and it turns out that the bullets punctured a fuel line that happens to contain liquid oxygen on a probe that's been sitting on Mars for 2 years. Steve retrieves the canister and caps it off, and just like that, they have 4 or 5 more days of air, which really sucks because I was hoping they would all die and that would be the end of the movie. So a storm rolls in, which the film depicts by a shot of the same lightning strike over and over and over and over again, and having the actors huddle together and react to wind that isn't there. I've seen more convincing weather in an improv show. After the storm passes, it has uncovered a road made of golden stones beneath less than an inch of sand. This road has supposedly been buried for millions of years, which means storms on Mars are not only invisible, but impressively gentle.
You mean somebody built this? I'm positive. But who? You mean there's life on this planet? Who can say?
I can. Yes, there's life on the planet. I've seen it. In fact, you've seen it. You were there. You were all there. You were attacked by it.
A golden road.
Yeah, Yeah, but what does it lead to? That's what I'd like to know.
Following the Golden Road, they arrive at the ancient Martian city. The establishing shot is a miniature, and it may very well be the funniest single image in the film. It has the scale and grandeur of a birthday cake decoration. Inside, the city is represented by what is clearly one hallway, filmed from every conceivable angle in a valiant attempt to suggest the existence of more than one hallway. Charlie says the air is musty but breathable, and then, in a decision that would get them court-martialed in any functioning space program, they take off their spacesuits and leave them on the floor. Just toss them aside. They're only protection against the lethal Martian environment. Just casually discarded like gym clothes. Anyways, inside of these crystal columns, they find the preserved bodies of the Martians. The creature design is actually the most impressive element of the entire production. Transparent brain cases with glowing red brains inside, tiny shriveled features with outsized craniums. They look like what would happen if the aliens from Mars attacked on a really, really bad week. One of the dead
I got
Martians
killed by
reaches out
something.
and touches Steve through the container, and Steve starts tripping out. He looks like a man who just got the bill for this production. Steve then receives a mental projection directing them to a meeting place where many minds were gathering. Having been psychically groped by a desiccated alien corpse, Steve just shakes it off and keeps walking. I mean, on Earth, this would warrant, at minimum, a therapist. And now, folks, we arrive at the main event, the reason this film exists. Through a cobweb-covered archway, into a great hall, and there it is. John Carradine's floating projected head, superimposed over stock photographs of galaxies, delivering a monologue of cosmic gibberish that goes on for so long that, I'll be honest with you, I just kind of tuned out after a few minutes, which really sucked, because then I had to go back and watch it again so that I could write this part of the review. And this isn't the first time I've seen this. I've already covered a movie that featured John Carradine's floating talking head. Why was this a thing? Or did he just reach a point in his career when he was like, all right, that's it. The only acting gigs I'm taking are floating talking head gigs. I don't really want to go anywhere. This scene goes on for an agonizing 9 minutes, which is an eternity in movie time. He tells them his race witnessed during the span of our evolution the birth and death of suns and worlds untold, and that they once ruled a good part of the galaxy. Then they retreated to Mars to ponder deeper mysteries. Then, and this is where I actually need your help, they impaled time upon an axis. Impaled time upon an axis. I have turned this phrase over in my mind like a rotisserie chicken, and I still have no idea what it means. I can't figure it out. Like, do you get that? He describes how they struck a balance between the past and the future, and explains that as there can be no life without death, so life itself became meaningless without death. Carradine delivers all of this in full Shakespearean mode. He is giving this drivel everything he has. It's like watching a Michelin star chef prepare a gourmet meal using ingredients exclusively from a gas station. The technique is undeniable. The material is unsalvageable. During this monologue, Carradine's face is occasionally obscured by the cosmic stock photos, which creates the effect of watching a man give a TED talk on a television with a bunch of crap smeared over the screen.
We inquired into the very nature of the fabric of time itself.
And the fabric was made up of threads from the ultimate truth, which means that, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just winging it at this point. I really should have written this all down. I had like 100 years to prepare this speech. But what can I say? I love to procrastinate. And it's really easy too. I mean, we've got a Nintendo back here, and it's got Mario Kart. So, yeah. Not a lot's getting done around here. Finally, the wizard gets to the point. He wants them to put a sphere back into a mechanism to restart time so the Martians can finally die. That's the whole quest. Reinsert a ball. Wow. They find the sphere almost immediately. It's sitting on a table roughly a 5-minute walk from where the wizard told them about it. An entire ancient civilization was doomed because nobody could carry a ball from one room to the next. I've had more challenging trips to the mailbox. Steve picks up the sphere and drops it. The actor makes it look completely deliberate. The sphere cracks open, revealing a miniature model of the Martian city inside. Then they locate the mechanism, a giant metal frozen pendulum adorned with the image of a sun with a smiling face. The pinnacle of advanced Martian technology, a sundial emoji. Then Charlie climbs up and inserts the sphere into the mechanism. The pendulum starts swinging, time resumes, and a civilization is saved from eternal stasis. All it took was putting a ball in a hole. This is what the Martians, who ruled a good part of the galaxy, couldn't manage on their own. With time restarted, the city begins to crumble, and the wizard gives his farewell speech, and even that is a bunch of stupid nonsense. What follows is 2 full minutes of the crew running through the same corridor set, filmed from different angles, while styrofoam rocks are thrown at them from off-camera by stagehands who may or may not have been aiming. They sprint out of the city without their spacesuits, which they left on the floor of the breathable city that is now collapsing around them. They are now on the surface of Mars with no protection. On any other planet, this would be fatal. But on this version of Mars, it's Tuesday. They all collapse on the Golden Road, exhausted, and then simply vanish. The crew wakes up inside their orbiting spacecraft, undamaged, in orbit. Mars Echo 1 sends the message saying, "You are 2 minutes overdue with your transmission." Their entire ordeal, days of trekking, paddling, caving, fighting hose monsters, meeting the cosmic ghost of John Carradine, took 2 minutes of real time. It's the Wizard of Oz, and you were there ending, transplanted to space. Except the men now have beards. Visible, physical beard growth. The experience was apparently real enough to grow facial hair, but also only 2 minutes long. So the movie wants to have its ambiguity cake and eat it too. Then the film finally ends. The runtime is only 80 minutes, but it felt like 80 years. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, this movie was funded by vending machine operators, and the story behind that is that David L. Hewitt, the writer, director, producer of this movie, met a group of vending machine operators who were looking to invest their cash-heavy business profits. He convinced them that sci-fi had commercial potential, and they put up $33,000 to make the film. Now, simply put, I do not recommend this movie. It was pretty painful to get through. I want to thank all of my supporters on Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, and my YouTube channel members. I want to thank all of
Silicone
you for
rubber.
tuning
Where
in.
would I
But that's
find
pretty much it for this one, and I'll see you all next time.
silicone rubber?
I've had more challenging trips to the mailbox. I'm not even joking, I'm serious. Like, during the winter, the ice, just forget it. This past winter, again, I'm not joking, we had so much freezing rain that it froze the mailbox shut. So not only was there ice all over the ground, but I couldn't even get the mailbox open.
I'm gonna die down here.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Now, during my extraterrestrial visitors video that I did back in March, I mentioned a movie called The Galaxy Invader. Now, The Galaxy Invader was made by a man named Don Dolan, and over the course of approximately 10 years, Don made a movie about an alien crash landing onto Earth and then going around killing people 3 separate times. The Alien Factor in 1978, Night Beast in 1982, and The Galaxy Invader in 1985. And these movies were very similar in a lot of ways, not just in terms of
Cluster.
premise, but they also featured
That's what
a lot
I'm
of the
looking
same
for.
actors
So I gotta
playing the same characters. In terms of when the movie was actually shot, there is a piece of trivia on IMDb that claims the movie was shot in 1972, but was shelved for 6 years because Don couldn't find distribution. However, I found an old article from Cinefantastique magazine that says that the movie started shooting in 1976. The movie starts with this couple, Rekt and Mary Jane, who are parked in an open field. Why?
Oh, that looks
so that
really
they
close.
Can drink and make out. But then someone shows up in what looks like a really dirty raincoat and tries to pull Rex out of the car. Now you might be tempted to call that person a monster. Well, I think that's pretty judgmental, honestly. None of us know what's really going on here. Sure, it may seem as if these two people are the victims of some sort of random attack, but what if it's all just a big misunderstanding? What if the person in the rain suit thought that Mary Jane was trying to smother him to death, and he was just attempting to pull Rex to safety, or pull him out of the car so that he won't be able to operate this vehicle under the influence of alcohol, which is illegal, by the way, and I'm pretty sure trespassing on private property is illegal as well. So, if anything, Rex and Mary Jane, they're the real monsters here. Yeah. Awful, awful people. So, what did we learn today? That's right. Next time, don't be so judgmental. Seriously though, that thing was an alien, and it did end up murdering Rex, so whatever. Anyways, Mary Jane runs away, and the cops pick her up, and then the doctors take her in. And then the mayor shows up.
How's Mary Jane?
She's in shock, but she'll be okay.
She say anything about what happened?
Shock, Bert. She didn't say anything.
Yeah, Bert. Idiot. And to think the people of this town elected you. Going around bothering everybody, asking questions, trying to figure out what's going on. Looking out for the safety of the people of the town. Don't you have better things to do? I do. So then these 3 random guys show up, and Jack the sheriff is like, hey, you guys gotta get out of here. You can't just go walking up driveways. This is private property. We just had someone killed over that. And they're like, yeah, but we heard about what happened to Rex over the police scanner, and we have nothing else to do. So can we help you try and find the wild animal that killed him? And the sheriff is like, no. You guys don't look nearly cool enough to hang out with me. I mean, get real. Have you seen my...
Fabricator. I fixed everything. What do I got to do now? I kind of feel like I should wait till morning. That thing looks ridiculously close.
Calorie intake recommended.
Alright, well, let's go, let me open the storage container. I'm gonna take a few of these. Oh.
weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
Battery. All right, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get it. Was it tools? Is there like a pick or something? No, so I should be able to.
The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Oh shit. I had a nutrition bar somewhere. I need to go eat that.
Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal. Continuing to monitor.
I think it was in the storage. Right? I understand why these took up so much space.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Why can't I collect these?
Oxygen. Oxygen. New blueprint acquired. Warning. Local radiation readings suggest the Aurora's drive core has reached critical state. Quantum detonation will occur within 2 hours. Oxygen.
Is there any way to steer this thing?
Lubricant is essential in construction of vehicles and power plants. New blueprint acquired.
This is Lifepod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Is there any way to drive this thing? Because that core is going to explode soon. I kind of need to be out of here, I think.
30 seconds.
I just saw something pretty big. I don't know where it went. I don't want to fuck with it. Yeah! I'm out. Where? What's that? Did that thing just poop on me? Come here. I want to scan you. Keeps farting at me. We're gonna head that way.
Seek fluid intake.
Okay.
Congratulations, survivor. You have exceeded your weekly exercise quotient by 500%. Data indicates that swimming was your favorite activity. 30 seconds. Be sure to vary your routine for uniform muscle development.
can't get inside of it.
Emergency. A quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Seek fluid intake immediately. For your convenience, the radiation signatures do not need a blueprint and otherwise.
I gotta get back. I gotta... Holy shit, that scared me. Come on, I'm almost there. Could have really used a better tutorial on this.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Where's the big crazy moon? I'm gonna wait until morning.
Seek fluid intake.
Let me look through this thing again. Coral tube sample. Salt deposit. I don't know where I'm going to find either of those things. But man, if the sun would just come up. Shit.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
That's all I could do, huh? I gotta find salt deposits somewhere. I needed something. What did I need? A floating air pump. There was a storage container. That's what I needed. Some kind of storage container. Was it here? Or was it here? Maybe it was up here? Down here. There we go. I guess that's it, huh?
Seek fluid intake.
You shut up. I needed those for something. I just need the salt deposits. Let me check this out. I did need that for something. I need it for a computer chip. Great. That's not helping me anything. What is that? I'm gonna kill it. I got cave sulfur.
Oxygen.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I have no idea what that was. Something just killed the crap out of me. Hang on. I'm just gonna cheat it.
Now, in the ninth circle of woke in California, things are definitely changing. It looks like we will be getting an actual Republican governor and mayor of LA. We got a Democrat mayor turning out to be a spy for China. That's a true story. Literally, she's going to jail. We got Democrats losing their elections. We got Democrats turning on each other. And just right before that, I have to show this to you. This is the craziest thing you'll ever see. Okay, so this is AOC being a complete and utter moron. I know she's not LA, but she's got that LA vibe, being completely dumb as bricks. All right, AOC on the new Tennessee congressional map, which would eliminate the last Democrat seat.
When you are seeing states like Tennessee want to wipe out every black representative on the map in these states, we have an obligation as Americans to stand with black Americans and communities whose representation
We're literally sitting
disenfranchised.
Yeah, so this is obviously heartbreaking, except it's also a lie. The current Democrat is a white guy, and that white guy is getting kicked out and getting replaced with a Republican who's a black woman. All right, this is not about helping black people and giving power to black people. This is about districting your districts in squiggly fucking lines so that you can scam people into voting for Democrats. All right, this has nothing to do with black people. You people are disgusting. Now, just to understand what AOC, she lies as she breathes. I think it's partially just because she's retarded. Here is a history lesson of the United States according to AOC. Before getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there. If I'm gonna play games as a time sponge, I might as well make some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games. Complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call to Dragons on free cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million paid out to over 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus. Hey, now back to the chaos. Every individual sign up literally supports the channel, so if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated.
My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain. I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to have a word.
That's right.
The American Revolution was against the billionaires of their time. And we're declaring independence from such an extreme marriage of wealth and power.
That's right.
And how Black Americans really created democracy in this country. That's exactly right. How they literally made something from nothing.
That's right, it's true.
Perhaps my colleagues were not fully present for the event on Wednesday, but we've seen close to half of the House nearly dying on Wednesday.
What? That's right. We all remember January 6th, where everyone was almost killed by flying mythical dragons and centaurs. All right, we all remember that. Now, I just want to make this very clear. All right, your Latino is getting a fucking mobbed by our Latino. Our Latino kicks your Latino's ass. Just to make this clear. All right, now let's get back into California falling apart with the mayor. It turns out a California Democrat mayor is a Chinese spy.
According to the Department of Justice, Eileen Wong and her former fiance ran a fake website from 2020 to 2022. They published articles at the direction of the Chinese government.
Weird.
Here's an example from Wong's plea agreement in which she instructed to share a story denying the existence of genocide and forced labor camps inside China.
Of course.
The 2023 report looked into the scope of Chinese espionage in the United States.
We love China.
It found more than 200 incidents since 2000, with a significant spike in recent years. Last month, the FBI also gave insight into China's nefarious tactics.
They do these very overt things to scare the rest of the community, and they recruit.
Anyway, she was arrested. She's in jail. She was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Now, that means we're not a serious country because she should be getting executed. You know, I'm really tired of this bullshit. We need to start executing people for treason. You know, people would stop doing treason if we'd start executing them if they did it. And you better believe she was pushing for all that woke shit that's destroying our country. I'm telling you, bro. The woke shit, it's literally a communist bioweapon, right, designed to destroy us. Now, here's the craziest part. The California mayor, who admitted to being a Chinese spy, donated to the Democrat Senate Campaign Committee. Democrat senators are literally funded by Chinese spies. You literally cannot even make this up. You can't even make it up. Like, it sounds so goofy, you just don't even believe it's true. Now, in the LA race, all right, so this is Nithya Raman. She is a radical socialist candidate, also a foreigner. Wow! All the foreigners want to give money from the people that earn it to the people that don't. So weird. A socialist candidate for the LA mayor says the Republican candidate
those boomerangs are edible.
A mini Trump. Who's a fascist?
But I also think it's a very real thing that we should take seriously and we need to grapple with, and we need to offer it an honest response. A response that's rooted in actually solving these problems. Otherwise, people will turn to fascism, to mini Trump, which is who I think Spencer Pratt really represents.
Bang! Let's go! Man, I wish Republicans were the fascists that the socialists think that we are. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. If we actually took all the homeless people and put them in a camp, we'd be living in paradise. Like, we would do it like as a joke first, just to troll you guys, and then we'd be like, holy fucking shit, this is sick. I'm not saying that we should. I'm not saying that we should, just to be clear. You thought fascism was bad before, but now the fascists are working with the Jews, so y'all are really fucked. Alright, so JD Vance just froze over $1 billion headed to California. Fraud czar says dirty doctors, fake hospices, have been bleeding taxpayers dry. 800 hospices shut down, and nobody complained. Just understand what's actually happening in our country on a daily basis. Things are happening. There was just so much shit to get through. It's brutal, but things are happening, actually happening. So the LA mayor, Karen Bass, terrified that she is going to be losing to Spencer Pratt, the fascist mini Trump. All right, this is great. All right, so part of the ad campaign for Spencer Pratt is basically making her like AI look like the Joker because she burnt their city to the ground.
But what's worrying me now is that his social media is now taking on a violent turn. And that
violent turn? It's violent? Remember, according to the left, words are violence, but actual violence is not violence. Just remember that.
Worries me, because when you do that, and when your messages are so hateful, or when you demonize people, then
you've been calling him a fascist since day one.
You do provoke people who are unstable.
Where'd he go?
Really? Really? Where are all these assassins? Where are they? Look, I'm not calling for violence. I don't want it. I don't support it. I don't condone it. Extrajudicial violence is inappropriate. Don't get me wrong. Executing people for treason is based as fuck. But extrajudicial violence is actually not cool. Don't support that. But where is it? Where is all the violence? Because I see people shooting at ICE agents. I see people shooting at the president of the United States. I see people murdering Charlie Kirk. All right, I see people attempting to kill all sorts of people. People forget about these things because they're not that relevant, I guess. There was an attempted assassination on JD Vance. They tried to break into his house. They shot bullets at Tim Pool. All right, Tim Pool, a bald guy with a beanie with no power in the country. All right, not trying to roast the guy or anything. I'm just being upfront. They're shooting at his house. Like, are we serious? We know where the retards are. Y'all are the retards. All right, him posting memes about you is not violent. You killing us all the time is violent.
And you can jeopardize people's safety.
You mean like the throwing of the tomatoes?
Well, the throwing of the tomatoes, which look like blood, or...
He made a meme about throwing a tomato, which looks like blood. As you can see, the Republicans are actually violent. Let's freaking go, boys! We got him! We got him! We actually got absolute cinema. It's over.
Or drowning me and the governor in a reservoir. But there's also other violent scenes.
I love that they actually played. I love that they played the ad on CNN. It's just based as fuck. Of course, we're gonna vote for that guy.
And so I've noticed that that it's taking on a violent trend. But what's
violent that he's making fun of you for burning down the city. Now,
all right, I got a full belly.
TMZ tried to do a hit piece on Spencer Pratt. Literally, the entire left-wing media apparatus made this guy enemy number one.
Find salt deposits.
If you think about it, this is a mini-Trump fascist, as they call him. That looks like he might very
I don't have a compass in this game.
The mayoral election in Los Angeles, the gayest place on earth, the gay capital of the world. Okay, understand. Right, so they're terrified. So TMZ tried to hit me from Spencer Pratt, and Spencer Pratt contacted TMZ directly to slaughter them. This is fucking crazy.
The campaign ad certainly made it seem that you were living in that trailer. It was a high point of the commercial. But you're
I'm doing all right.
Hotel Bel Air. So kind of undo that for us.
I just this game was suggested. This is the first time I'm playing it.
Burn down my house.
I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing.
There were fires. Now, you were incompetent, so you burnt my house down. I don't have a house now. Understand? This guy's running for mayor in LA literally because you burned my shit down.
This stuff looks like it might be.
Now I'm gonna burn down the Democrat joke. Hold on.
I can't scan it.
I will live until I have a new house. The Airstream is a temporary
I don't know.
hotel is a temporary facility.
I've died quite a few times, and a few times I didn't even know it killed me.
This is where I live. This is where they burned my house down. So the semantics or the nuance of this is the consequences of their failed leadership. And again, I don't live at the Hotel Bel Air. I don't live in the Airstream. I don't live in the Santa Barbara. I don't have a house. They burned it down.
That's right.
That is why
I love that they tried to get him on this. They're like, he said he lived in a little R&B because his house burned down. In reality, we caught him staying at a hotel. Is that really a gotcha? You're just reminding everyone that your fucking bullshit policies burnt his house down.
I got into this race because of these people that were
I didn't realize it wasn't there.
And act like it's no problem. So this idea that anyone's like, oh, he's at a hotel. I'm at a hotel because these psychopaths are messaging me every day they're gonna kill me because Nithya Brahman is calling me a fascist.
Give me a sec. Let me get back to my thing. I'll get it up. It was up there earlier. I think
In an empty lot with a
the program might have crashed.
You have all these bullshit politicians calling him a fascist, and you have left-wing assassins showing up everywhere to kill people? Like, are you serious?
Kids next to drug addicts at the park or stepping in human poop when you get your matcha. I have common sense. That's not fascism. So these psychos here.
No, that's not true. Actually, we are going to be building camps. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I moved my computer and everything. I'm not in the bedroom anymore. So might be having trouble because of that. Hang on, I'll fix it here in a sec. Let me climb up on top here where I'm safe.
To stay in the Airstream would let me because there's 360 unobstructed views since there's no houses. She can literally snipe me out.
Literally no fucking houses. You know why? Because they got burned down. Because you are
It did crash. Alright, that's what happened. What I gotta do is
One sec. Not to mention the Airstream, it took over a month for LADWP to connect a wire for electricity to it, which
this
was
will take
3
a sec.
days ago. It took weeks to get the wire
you just gotta
hooked
turn it
up,
on and
which
track
was
it.
yesterday. So for these people that want to focus on where I sleep at night, first off, I don't even sleep. I get 4 hours of sleep because I'm fighting these corrupt freaking politicians all day long. You want to see my phone?
Oh, it's already tracking. Alright, there we go.
15 hours.
I hear what you're saying, and on the symbolism of your ad, that because of the fire, that you don't have a home, and I get that. But there's something to the point where you say in the ad, this is where I live, while you're standing in front of a trailer.
That's his house.
Why didn't it?
That's where he gets his bills. When the government bills him, when the IRS sends him mail, it goes there. It doesn't go to the hotel. That is his residence. What, you're not allowed to go to a hotel because it means you're lying that you don't live where you say you live? Like, this is the hill that the media's dying on to make this guy look like a liar. This is crazy.
I think the reason that ad was so effective with voters is because you did draw this visual comparison of where the mayor lives, where Nithya Raman lives.
There it is.
You live. So you're showing where they live.
There, he's back. There's the old man. Hey, how's it going?
Saw that ad and thought, wow, Spencer Pratt has to live in that.
He does. He literally does. Or every once in a while he'll sleep in a hotel room. That means he's lying.
Oh, ow!
Trailer because his house burned down.
Not used to the new seating arrangement.
But for the last month and a half, you've been at the Bel Air Hotel.
I haven't been at the Bel Air Hotel for more than 6 days in the last month. This is all public
But that's where you've been staying. I know you may not have actually been in it.
No, I've been in Santa Barbara, where the LA Times reported where I lived and doxed me. That is where I live.
Oh my God!
This is LA Times. This is
every single time they accuse him of something, he claps back with something so horrible. It's crazy.
News. Even when the Airstream ad came out, the LA Times cover story is saying no. Spencer Pratt lives in Santa Barbara, and I said yes. Thank you for doxing me. I tried to sue the LA Times.
No, I like this VTuber model.
Are you saying
that's insane? You have all these people calling him a fascist. You have left-wing assassination culture on the rise. All right, let's be real. Let's be real. You have trans people that think they're getting genocided because they're trying to mutilate their testicles, and we don't like that so much. So they're coming to fucking kill you. All right, let's be real here for a second. All right.
I specifically wanted to avoid the anime style of animation.
that trailer?
I don't live anywhere, is what I'm saying. I don't have a house. They burned it down, Harvey. I don't have a house.
But why not say that? Spencer, that would be really effective. Why not say that in the ad? I don't have a home. You texted me today.
I can't.
I lived in it.
My VTuber model isn't made through that program. I would have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to change its outfit.
It's rubble. Yes.
And have it craned in to the law. That's what people are. This is psycho. I only got on this live because I love you. But so last time I'm going to talk about this because the reason I am running is because they burned down 7,000 houses. This is where everyone lives. They don't
What is this?
consider that their home.
Oh, it's a reflection. It's a shadow. All right. Where the hell are these salt deposits? I'm going to need them because I'm getting thirsty.
They burn it down. This is where I always will live.
And they're trying to flip this on. Oh, so you don't actually live there.
They're pink or white, it said.
You don't sleep there? His bed was burnt down, man. What are we doing? This is going so badly for them. Bro, we're going to get a Republican mayor in Los Angeles.
My inventory's full. Damn it.
But Spencer, I get, listen, I've known you for a long time, and you're a really smart guy. And you are all over these ads, which have been, honestly, they've been lauded by people who have said these are, brilliant ads. Wasn't the point there, and I believe the trailer door was even open, wasn't the point to telegraph to people that your body went inside that trailer night after night?
Holy shit, so he's not allowed to stay in a hotel because they burnt his house down, and the only thing he has there is a little trailer now, and he doesn't want to live there every single night, especially after they doxed him?
I mean, wasn't that the point of the ad?
No, the point of the ad is to show this is where they burned my house down. I have no house. This is their houses. They're fine. And this is where I live. This is where my town lives. This is our reality for the next 10 years if we're lucky. That'll be there for the next 6 years. And I'll say, I live there. I live in the Palisades. I'm a registered voter to that address.
By the way, a lot of people don't know this, but the Palisades fire started by left-wing terrorists that were inspired by Luigi Mangione. All right, and actually burnt all that shit down. Just understand the left-wing violence epidemic that's literally washing over our country.
Angelino. Even if my family and kids have to now go to school in Santa Barbara, I am Angelino. This is my town. This is where they burned me down. So I am on set with these lovely people at Interview Magazine, and I can't be just ranting all day. But I appreciate you. People can be all caught up in the nuance of where I live or where I don't. I'm running for mayor because these people will burn your house down, cover it up.
Spencer, the nuance is you being truthful.
Right now I'm focused on making partner, which I'm very close to doing. That's what I'm focused on right now.
I'm going to say it again. That is where I live. Period. Okay. Period. I don't need to sleep there every night. I don't need to go to number 2 on that toilet. That is where I live. I'm from the Palisades, Los Angeles, and I'm fighting for Los Angeles. So,
yeah, I got to make partner with Twitch. That's what I'm working towards.
To clarify, I haven't lived anywhere since my house burned down.
Well, you're sleeping somewhere.
These are
those 4 hours.
Again, I don't live anywhere. They burned my house down, to be clear. So
Once I make
love you
partner,
guys.
All right.
You know, what we should be doing on TMZ is
I don't know what
talking
that was,
about
but it looks
the
scary.
drug addicts that we spent $500 million that live on our sidewalk
right,
going
baby.
number 2. This is great that this is the focus, but that's the reality. And if people care about this right now, we're in so much trouble, and I'm gonna do my best to try to save LA. But if people don't get out and vote because they want to feel safe, and that's what I'm fighting for people to feel safe and their tax money to literally go to making us safe and the people to get housed and people not to die on the street. That's the message. So this does not matter. That is where I live. Period. And I'll live in LA as long as I have that dirt lot. The Airstream is imaginary to me. I live in that dirt, in my ashes. That's what I fight for. So I love you guys. Keep posting me. Please use better photos. God bless you.
Thanks, Spencer.
God, he killed them. He killed them. Bro, you got Democrats lying about literally everything. TMZ covering for these guys, these retards. All right, TMZ doesn't even report stories that make Democrats look bad, let alone their lies. You know, TMZ's laughing after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. But I will never forget, as long as I live, TMZ laughing when they got the news that Charlie Kirk actually died. All right, I will never forget that. And these absolute dipshits, while their city is dying around them, people are overdosing on the streets. They're doing hit pieces on Spencer Pratt because after his house was burnt down, and he showed an ad of his empty lot just covered in ashes from where his house used to be. And they said, well, you don't live there. You've been staying in a hotel recently. That's their focus? Based that Spencer Pratt called them up and fucking obliterated them. Vote for Spencer Pratt, make Los Angeles Republican again.
I wish there was like a detector or something.
Gentlemen and female gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Lore. That's right, here on the Lore channel on Nuxtaku. This guy with beautiful hair made a video discussing if Nazism is right-wing or left-wing. And I'm very excited to do a deep dive because I personally think it's left-wing. I mean, they definitely are authoritarian, which is generally more right-wing, but Nazism is National Socialism. And so I'm excited to see what the actual analysis is all about.
Was Nazism left-wing or right-wing? But believe it or not, this question gets asked around a lot, and there are several creators that provided answers.
Well, there was two types.
Answer will be grounded on history and political science.
No, I don't have
Before we do
Instagram.
that, let's talk about the question proper.
Alright, let's do it.
This question is a form of ahistorical syllogism. You'll see several people giving you answers today in the comments down below.
Yeah, I have a Discord
and
Facebook.
Obviously was right-wing or of course it was left-wing. In my opinion, there are two major problems here.
Yes,
One,
I do.
They use the American left-right dichotomy or political spectrum, and they forcefully apply it to historical European political regimes and ideologies. Hence, the first problem with the Western proper is geographic or spatial in nature. Two, they use 21st century political spectra and juxtapose
I'm videotaping, I'm recording this stream right now.
The problem is temporal. The incongruence between modern and 20th century political regimes.
I have an external hard drive that I keep all my streams recorded on.
I mean, the left is always the party of racism and violence, but for different reasons, it seems.
Definitions within the right-left dichotomy is a complex phenomenon rooted.
That's just because I don't even know. I don't know if I can download my own VODs. That's why
It
I.
used to be left-wing, and it is actually still left-wing. See Don Lemon invading churches.
This discrepancy necessitates
Why can't I find any salt deposits?
Factors that contribute to this divergence. Within these dynamics, the correct and coherent answer is going to be fractal, as there is no clean definition overlap. History is a multidimensional phenomenon. Expecting, therefore, 21st century American political ideas to overlap neatly and perfectly with 20th century European political factions in order to come out with an answer is a flawed analytical method. So, the people who are categorically stating it was left-wing, it was right-wing, are not answering to present a comprehensive analysis of policy, policies, ideologies, historical actions, military interventions, economic, religious, and social positions pushed by said regimes, they are just insulting the other side. They are free to do it, of course, but just so we are clear about...
Which is a very good point. Which is why I say it's left-wing, just to piss off left-wing people. It's very fun. It's very fun. One of my favorite things to say to piss off left-wing people is just by basically saying...
yeah, I just started a Discord server.
I don't want to be controversial or anything. It literally is a
You should have gotten an invitation to it.
You know, completely uniting all the power under one fucking dictatorial ruler, tyrant fucker, and that dude literally owns all the things. So yeah, no, of course it's left-wing. What are you talking about? They believe in all the artsy-fartsy stuff, right? Just like all the libtards, right? He's artsy-fartsy. And he believes in literally treating different ethnic groups differently. Specifically, also, look, I don't even need to be controversial here at all. Like, literally at all.
What? Those answers?
Like, dude, like the whole, we have to abolish, destroy the rich, defund the rich, or whatever, that aligns exactly with Nazism. It's incredible.
Make no mistake, Nazi is a slur, and so people want to use it to identify and describe their political opponents. That is why, I would argue, it works as a conduit to the detriment of your political opposition when it comes to mass and public opinion. In this framework, fascism and Hitler currently have negative valence, they are derogatory, and with that established, the following clearly represents the train of thought leading to this usage. Nazi bad. We all agree with that? Okay. You Nazi. You bad. It's a simple process, really. Clearly doesn't require...
I would argue that it's even worse than that, actually. I would argue that it's you Nazi, and therefore we kill Nazis, so therefore we should kill you. And that's why the left is super happy to call people on the right Nazis.
My afternoon streams, I usually just run until I'm tired.
Excuse to murder you. Because the left is a completely and utterly
usually about 3-4 hours. In the morning, I do to 5 to 6 hours.
Whoa! Are you really putting everyone in one group? There's so many differences of thought. True. But most of them are retards that want... Okay, I don't know about most of them. But a lot of them are actually retards that want you dead.
Any deep empirical analysis grounded on historical political science, which is one of the reasons why the media uses the word constantly. Yeah, who would have thought the media's full of shit? You see, once you take that lead, your historical vision will be irreversibly tainted. The question is flawed to begin with because its basis, namely the expectations and the prism of evaluation, are not in alignment. And on top of that, this has rendered the traditional unidimensional political spectrum increasingly inadequate for capturing the complexity of 20th century political parties. And all of this reflects the ongoing evolution of political taxonomy. So, what do we do now? Well, to answer this correctly first, we need to ensure objectivity to our analysis. Focus on attitudes towards private property, individual freedom, and wealth redistribution patterns.
Leftist.
I think that's...
No private property, it all belongs to the state. No,
damn it, it's not what I was looking for.
Jews and you redistribute it to everybody else. Yep, we know.
Needed, even implementing a mathematical apparatus. Also, we should explore and take into consideration the political allegiances that occurred historically.
You want to hear the craziest thing that that proves that Nazism is left-wing? So, in Nazism, they remove people from the gene pool to not pass down genes that they don't want to be passed down, to remove traits from the next generation, and by murdering a lot of people. And leftists literally institutionalized a modern-day child holocaust, murdering infinite babies. All right? Literally murdering people for the sake of not passing down genes to the next generation. That's right. Leftists are the modern-day eugenicists, just like Nazis.
And the sort of opposition to the regime question, the Nazis. So let's do that. Welcome to our comprehensive qualitative analysis.
Yeah.
Some people will
Planned Parenthood is a Nazi ideology.
Use nomenclature as a gotcha moment to place the Nazis within the political spectrum. In other words, Nazism stands for National Socialism, so they were socialists, hence left-wing. Now, nomenclature alone cannot be used as the basis for classification. It's too shallow and unscientific as a parameter. This is regardless of whether you think they were left-wing or right-wing. Let me prove it to you. If the name of any given party is the basis of the argument...
Look, the name doesn't prove everything, but it definitely did get that name for a reason.
where they stand within the left-right dichotomy, then is the Communist Party in China Republican in the American sense? I mean,
It's the Communist Party of China. It's obviously left-wing.
The People's Republic of China.
That's not the same as socialism. Republic doesn't mean fucking anything. That's a like, get out of here. No. That is not the same as saying communism in the name or socialism in the name. Socialism is a left-wing ideology. Republic isn't a right or left-wing ideology. God, bro, republic is a description of a nation. Get out of here, bro. This is the most false dichotomy of all time. Words don't have meanings. What do you mean? I know that he's obviously kidding, probably, but nah, dude.
Similarly, is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, aka...
Bro, stop! Republic isn't an ideology. Dude, it's a form of governance. It's not an ideology. Unlike communism, which is an ideology. Socialism, which is an ideology. Left-leaning ideologies.
In North Korea, really...
Bro, the United States is called the United States. We're all united, like collectivism.
Democratic? Yeah, I didn't think so. And if you really want to break your brain, I made a video not too long ago talking about ancient democracies, such as, for example, Greek democracy, which was a form of pure democracy, and then I compared it to modern democracies and to see what they differed and what areas they had in common. Well, in the comment section of that video, as it happens, my American viewers began a flame war, whereby you had people saying, no, America is a democracy, and other people saying, no, America is a constitutional republic. Right. Well, do you know what Italy is? Well, after the referendum of the 2nd of June 1946, Italy abolished monarchy and became officially, wait for it, una repubblica democratica. That translates as a democratic republic. Yeah, welcome to Europe. You think that's confusing? Well, in the United States, simple liberalism often means social liberalism, and a liberal is a left-winger. But in Europe, simple liberalism often means classical liberalism, which can be a center-right position, particularly for those right-wing populist movements that embrace economic policies which in America would be associated with the left, while at the same time promoting cultural and social conservatism. And on that note, since we're talking about
So how to get salty deposit in Subnautica? You can see I'm just next to the escape pod in the starter area. If we go to north direction,
yeah, I got my ass kicked a couple times.
We need to go in this direction. Just keep going, you're almost there. And when you reach right here, you should start seeing salty deposit. And when you get close to the plant tree right here...
Alright, down at the bottom of the kelp. Alright.
Hassan Piker addresses the transracial compilation. Let's see how he talks his way out of this. Let's find out. Like, comment, subscribe.
Are you white? Are you white? Are you white? Yes. Why is this the new meta?
Because you said you were Muslim yesterday.
I always say I'm white. Okay? I always say I'm white. And
you've also said that you're not white. We watched a clip compilation from you yesterday saying you're not white. We saw that with our own eyes.
It's always the who are like, he's not white, he's a goddamn terrorist. He's a goddamn,
You said, and I quote, I'm not white, I'm Muslim. Surely he watches the compilation, right?
Go Islamist fundamentalist terrorist that will then be like, oh, are you white or are you not white? Oh, depending on who you're asking.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know?
You gonna watch the compilation?
Have you seen me dance? I'm white as man.
I can't believe that people are letting him like pivot from this conversation with his like. I mean, this guy's humor is about as compelling as a paper bag, right? Like, I'm shocked that he's gonna be able to pivot. His chat's about to spam Omega Law. Him saying, "Oh, you seen me? I'm white. I can't even dance. You can't." Just wait. They're gonna spam Omega Law. They're gonna act like what he just said was the funniest to ever exist.
Yeah, that's the new meta. I like that the new meta is like some of the most racist.
Don't move away from your chat, you little pussy. I was gonna prove a point. God damn it.
Being like Hassan switches between white and not white.
Yeah, because we watched a 5-minute compilation of you doing that. Would you like me to pull that back up? But first,
Yes, I am. So far I am. I'm a little frustrated I can't find salt deposits, but I just watched a video. It told me where to find them.
Contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but do not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The
Probably don't have room for any of this shit.
Of those decisions. If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles, you should hear this. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code to take a short quiz to see if you qualify for a case. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. Here we go.
The point that it's because I'm brown. World. I'm a goddamn Muslim American gets called
No! There are dozens of clips of him saying that he's white. Now he's saying he's not white. It's Schrodinger's race.
White myself. Do you think there is a higher percentage of white people that are genuinely seriously offended by the term cracker? Myself included, I am white too. I'm not offended. Yes, I am white. I'm a Caucasian man. Like, yeah, I am white because I'm white. I'm white passing. I'm white. You really hate white people, Jesus? Dude, I am white. I am white. I'm white. I obviously would never be able to comprehend what happens to gays in the Muslim world. I, after all, am not Muslim.
After him claiming that he is Muslim, flat out saying that he's not Muslim. Let's keep going here.
Included, I am white too. I'm Muslim. I don't agree. You must be white. I am white. I am Muslim, and I'm living in the West.
He really can't make up his mind. He really can't. You know, it's honestly shocking how people are going to let him get away with another lie. He also admitted to being gay. Well, we didn't need an admission of guilt to know that.
My haters are working extra hard. There was a Stockman clip edited out of context. That's where the trolls are in here asking that. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. You literally denied being white the other day. See, look.
I'm confused why Dan Saltman is being called a stalker when Hassan's co-workers are actively using snark discords to dox people and get their real-life information. And to my knowledge, Dan Saltman is attempting to call them out for their poor behavior. Am I missing something? Or like, I really don't understand why Dan Saltman is being called Dan Stalkman. I don't get it.
Look at this. Brother, whiteness is a social construct. Race is a social construct. The ways in which the out group or the in group perceive me is what matters. Do you mean dominant?
I agree. Race is a social construct. As a proud black man, I also would like to say it is very hard to make it in this world as a black man, and the amount of streamers that are trying to hold me down just because my skin color brown is, man, we used to be gangs.
Group non-dominant group, you use in group out group constantly? No, I'm using in group out group on purpose. It's usually people who fancy themselves to place a higher emphasis on whiteness, the WASPs, or the white supremacists that will determine whether or not someone is truly white or not.
Okay, let me ask you an honest question, right? Let me talk shop with y'all for a second. So there's always these white supremacists, and here's the reality, okay? If someone is playing League of Legends, and there's a certain character that's really good in a meta, and they're gassing up that character, let's say Mundo's S tier.
Oh shit, I almost died.
Am I a Dr. Mundo supremacist if I say how great Mundo is? No, I'm not. But the problem is that whenever you talk about how great white people are, which I'm not gonna lie, we're definitely an S tier class. Well, let's be real. We're S tier 100%. Am I a real white supremacist for acknowledging how great white people are? Listen, Hassan, you dumb terrorist-supporting pieces. I want you to count on one hand how many people say, oh yeah, I just really want to live in an Indian neighborhood. Oh yeah, I just really want to live in an all-Mexican, all-black people neighborhood. I bet you can count on one hand how many times you've heard that in your life. And now I want you to count how many times you've heard them say, I want to live in an all-white neighborhood. You want to know why? Because we're great people. We are. And I'm tired of people pretending that we're not. I hear all these people talk about, oh man, white people are so awful, they're so racist. Can I please be let into your neighborhood, sir? Shut the up, man. I can't help that we're so now, I will say, the triple S tier class are the Asians. That's the truth. And the reason why Asians are triple S tier is due to the fact that they commit the lowest amount of crimes in society. And I believe the best citizens are the ones that comply with the law. And Asians do that the most. So, tips fedora to all of my anime cat boys and anime cat girls. Thank you for making America a non-miserable place to live. But yes, I do believe that your class goes down by how much crimes you commit in the country. And I feel like that's pretty much how everybody goes. Guys, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be completely honest. Would you rather be friends with someone who has committed no crimes, or would you rather be friends with someone who has been a repeat offender 24 times, right? Usually, the amount that someone complies with the law is how much you enjoy that person. It's quite nice. You can combine an Asian with a white, you have the most beautiful child of all time. Now, white on white is beautiful, okay? Listen, all right? The reality is you guys are TikTok makeup pilled. And you got to realize the majority of Asians that you see are completely caked in makeup. Asian culture and using makeup, they're very good at it, okay? But I believe that white are naturally the most beautiful people on earth. But just look at me. 32 years old, I don't look a day over 25. Jacked, skin complexion beautiful, teeth incredible, beard out of this world, head shape. I mean, guys, the list goes on and on. Dick enormous. Dick enormous.
Also, guys, what a stupid way to start the day. Holy, your friend told me to kill myself? Aw, are you sad? Oh no, someone was mean to you on the internet? Welcome to being on the internet, chatter. You can't...
Brother Hassan, hold up. Hassan, you literally, the same day, went on to complain about how the internet was mean to you because of how they treat Chud the Builder and not you. You have no right to complain that, oh, someone's being mean to you on the internet. Brother, that's all you do. That's all you do. What in the are you on about? Speaking of which, let's get into it.
Strong staff.
Hassan Piker expresses frustration that the media covers him versus Chud the Builder.
And police. See, I'm sorry, but when they mention me on any mainstream publication, they will literally be like, Hassan is a rabid anti-Semite, possibly a terrorist, maybe has contributed to 9/11. But when they're talking about a guy who...
Okay, Hassan, I would like to remind you, your mainstream coverage, why don't we go ahead and pull this up? This guy is such a fire. Hold up. Hassan Piker, when the mainstream covers you, this is an article from GQ.com. All they do is talk about how you are and then post naked photos of you. I'm sorry you guys have to see this. I just have to do a quick debunk. They talk about how, yeah, your opinions might be retarded, but oh my God, he's so cute. God, shut the up, bro. Can you stop crying victim for 2 seconds? Bro, you live in a $3.4 million mansion. Can you just acknowledge that your life is all right? Holy.
whose entire content revolves around literally going up to black people and saying, screaming the N-word at them.
That's not how Chud the Builder's content goes. He doesn't just go into black people's face. He goes into poor places and tries to get people to chimp out by merely saying words. And he tests the limits by what people get pressured until the most by what words, and what people are most likely to get violent by just words. That's it. Now, once again, do I think you should go up and just try to provoke people? No, absolutely not. But let's at least get the facts straight.
And then trying to get them into an altercation where he will pull out his weapon, because that's what his content is.
How do you describe it?
Just controversial streamer that does IRL altercations and you know, he's built a reputation online for provocative IRL streams and often spiral into conversations with strangers, restaurants, staff, and police.
That is a 100% accurate description of what he does. Would you like me to say it again? Do you not know what these words mean? That is an incredibly accurate portrayal of what exactly he's doing.
No. He's built a reputation online for provocative IRL streams that often...
Yes, he goes IRL and he provokes people.
Spiral into conversations with strangers.
And when he provokes people, then confrontations happen.
Strangers, restaurants, staff, and police.
That is exactly what he does.
So he's just a regular nuisance streamer? Like, you could describe stable Ronaldo with the same way that you're describing this guy. Very different type of content, I would say. I mean, this reporting implies he's not a threat to the public when he literally engaged in a violent confrontation outside of a courthouse with a weapon, okay? That is also a threat to the public.
Okay, but you also have to understand we still have a lot of allegations, a lot of things that are alleged right now. We really need to keep things fair right now. Keeping things fair is very important. Yes, he did call a black person the N-word, but then that black person pushed him down to the ground, mounted him, and slammed his head into the concrete 4 times, after which he pulled out his gun and shot him. The black guy is alive, by the way. Shelton Bowen's alive right now, and now he's on trial. There's still a lot of mystery on what is surrounding the situation. Yes, it's very murky, but let's not make it up. Let's keep the facts straight. And also, I'm going to be completely real. No one has the right to go up and start beating the out of you because you're saying a word they don't like. I'm sorry, that's not how that works.
It does. I guess it's still shocking to see the difference.
Shocking. Shout out to Kyle.
Difference when you're an anti-Zionist who fights against anti-Semitism, the media reporting.
Did Hassan just say? Does Hassan actually think he's for the Jews? I have never seen a guy select more anti-Semitism in my life than Hassan Piker. And it's actually not a joke. What are we talking about?
And the way they engage you versus just being anti-black, just straight up anti-black racists, white supremacists. It's actually insane. It's actually insane.
I've never seen a guy with a bigger victim complex in my entire life. We have this final one where he addresses the Nick Fuentes suit allegations. Let's talk about it.
I don't know what I hate more about this new meta, like when I make minor fashion decisions.
Yeah, minor fashion decisions, aka change my entire look, change my entire flow. He RP'd and LARPed as Nick Fuentes for 3 streams, realized he has no motion, and then he has to go back to his gay-ass $10,000 outfits.
People literally lose their minds over it for some weird reason. Half of the people are now saying you stole Nick Fuentes' style.
Here we go! Let's pull it up again!
Look at this! Look! Look!
Hassan, it is the exact same outfit. And it does at a point get worse. Because you even do the exact same hand gestures and the exact same squint. You copied him bar for bar, and you looked retarded while doing it. Hassan, the internet lasts forever. Do you think we live in Somalia or an African mud hut to where our internet isn't good enough to search back 24 hours? What are we on about?
Okay, I saw that on my timeline. It's unbelievable. These little dumbass booger-eating groypers think that like Nick Fuentes invented.
They eat boogers. These booger-eating groypers. Wow. You got him, dude. Oh, man, what are we? first grade? These poo-poo head groipers, these booger eaters, these stinky diaper babies. What the are, bro? You're 35 years old calling someone a booger eater? What the are we doing here?
Wearing suits.
This is how retarded he sounds like when he can't read off his teleprompter.
And then the other half is saying I stole Jamel Bowie style, which is a little bit more appropriate.
Can we talk about how small his head is right now? I mean, what the am I eating? Look at how small his head is.
Because like he does wear hats all the time with his like suits and he has pretty good style. It's really funny because they're saying I'm LARPing as Nick Fuentes because I'm talking about how America is losing the war.
No, it's because you were wearing his exact clothes and doing his exact mannerisms.
Against Iran. Dog, Nick Fuentes was...
Also, if you think America's losing the war against Iran, you're just retarded. Like, I don't even know what to tell you at this point, man. Like, Jesus Christ. There is in no way in hell that people unironically think that America is losing to Iran. Good God.
Basically, protein in his father's ballsack when I was talking about America's military ambitions, America being a paper tiger. I'm an anti-imperialist, okay? Nick Fuentes was a baby, didn't know what the Israel was, and I was out there an avowed anti-Zionist. The do you mean? If anything, he's chimping my... Or what's...
Actually, Nick Fuentes is copying me. Yeah, dude, 100%. Bro, Hassan, your only clips and relevance is you abusing your dog. Shut up.
The term?
Good. You got this. Let your chat give you the answer.
What is it, like, copying? Is it...
Let's watch it again.
What is it, like, copying? What is it, like, copying?
Let me show you what Hassan sounds like.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Based. Nailed it.
Is it biting, aping?
You got this, buddy.
Clip chimping is chimping.
There you go,
Well,
buddy.
obviously.
Good job. I can't believe... Did you notice that? No, guys, did you notice that?
Clip chimping is chimping. Well,
Og never clips. He will never cut out any part of his clips. Did you see the jump cut?
Clip chimping is chimping. Well,
Hassan is such a brain-dead retard that Og had to cut his clip because of his incoherent rambling. Good Lord.
Obviously.
Good God.
Well, obviously, my favorite content creator invented suit wearing. It's really funny because it's like that meme, guy who's only seen one movie. I'm getting a lot of Boss Baby vibes from this movie. Okay.
Oh my God, he's gonna say okay again. I'm gonna kill myself.
Okay, that's okay. Okay.
I'm good, guys. At a certain point, we're all gonna understand that Hassan is a retard. I've been here for years. Eventually, we're all gonna get it. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Sorry you had to see so much again. We'll see if Hassan can beat the allegations. We'll see.
Preparing the day's water ration. Ahead of
We're
time,
talking about
we'll
one of
help
the
ensure
best
the
additions to the
hydration
legendary
and
series of
eventual
Hassan being a massive, absolute, unlikely piece of shit. Number 10,000. Can you believe it? Like, comment, and subscribe, and join me on Rumble if you want to be able to all the daily streams. I stream live every day at 9 a.m. CST, as well as Asmongold talking about child marriage. Weird. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's watch the first clip. We have Hassan going live and bitching about how he's the victim in all this and how right-wing political commentators are just big, bad liars because they tell the truth about him. Hassan is 800%.
They can't stop all insurgent candidates, but they can use Hassan's unpopularity to sink candidates with constant TV ads and slop.
Also, I apologize in advance for anybody who's just tired of seeing this grown-ass adult act like a baby and bitch and moan about how hard his life is from his multi-million-dollar mansion in Los Angeles, all while claiming that he's a socialist.
Hassan's unpopularity is ridiculous. Why are you... Dude, God.
Hassan is an intruder. He just happens to have a ton of baggage for Democratic Party audiences. True. Also, please heavily edit what I say about Hassan in case I call him a
Damn, brother. Literally, my worst fucking fan. I swear to God. You have...
This guy is calling him out for being a left-wing political grifter. This is not a random viewer. This guy has been subscribed to him for 5 years. So even Hassan's own viewers know that he is an illegitimate left-wing grifting piece of shit.
You have literally seen in the last week that this is unbelievably unpopular. Okay? Unbelievably fucking unpopular.
Oh, did he just ban a 5-year?
What happened?
Unpopular.
That's insane. Also, grifting to the left is unpopular. How about we talk about COVID, where you had to support trans lives or you would lose your account and be cut off by everybody. Even me, I had to pretend that I was cool with that shit back in COVID or I would have lost everything. It was insane. Everybody remembers the if you're not woke, you lose everything era. What's that guy with no fucking neck? Nick Merckx. Nick Merckx lost so much shit. Tim the Tatman lost so much shit. All for just saying that we don't want trans ideology around our children. It's nuts. It was psychotic. And by the way, it's still like that. It is still like that. What the fuck do you mean being left-wing isn't popular? Now, and you know, I hate to admit this because it's sad, since the death of Charlie Kirk, people on the right wing are finally just tired of it. And people on the left wing are tired of it. You want to know why? They killed Charlie Kirk because they were like your grandfather. He was like your father. He had the same ideology as everybody did 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They killed him for merely saying the things that your grandfather and father say at the Thanksgiving table. And it's still a fraction of the overwhelming mental illness on the internet. Want to know why? There's literally pro-trans posts on the internet. They go live every day. They get 311,000 likes. There's a reason if it were the popular thing. And by the way, you know these streamers have no mental wherewithal. They have no morality whatsoever. Their virtues mean nothing. They will throw them away for 5 more viewers. Every single large streamer, 99% of them, all push far left propaganda at every single second. Oh, fuck ICE, trans lives matter, fuck Donald Trump. That's all they say over and over and over and over again. That's not, I assure you. These people are not standing by their virtues. They're saying whatever the popular thing is to get more viewers. Everybody knows it. If you don't believe me, if you think they don't have virtues, this is the reason why every female streamer tries to get an audience to ship them with another creator, because that's how they lead viewers. Everybody knows the amount of female creators that flirt with every male creator to hopefully get them to ship them, to hopefully get a parasocial relationship, and hopefully get their viewers to watch them as well. Everybody knows it.
And you're a 59-month subscriber. Interpreting this situation as though it's like even in any way, shape, or form successful. It literally failed with Zoran. God damn, dude. No, Hideo Offliner is one of the worst chatters in this community, like notoriously. The one that is consistently talking about how you always pay so much attention to pay so much attention to drama, blah, 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 always. Bro, you lost.
And he's right. What did he say was wrong? Hassan, you're such a drama frog. You went after you went after Asmongold's dead father. And if it wasn't enough there, you went after his dead mother. And then, if it wasn't enough there, you said he was responsible for his own mother's death And then you said his dead father would be ashamed of him from hell. So, yeah, I think the shit you say is a little bit drama charged. So, maybe we just... You also called Nuxtaku a pedophile, which is psychotic.
Literally no one on any of your platforms is at least signaling to other leads they have no motion. I would go so far as to say it's a backfire, right? Abdul Sayed has been able to reach the top 5 in fundraisers this past week as this like media cycle started kicking into high gear. And not only that, but a lot of people who don't know who the fuck I am, probably for the first time ever.
Everybody knows who you are. You're the dog shocker. You're the guy who shocks his dog. You're the guy who uses an electric collar. I don't want to make it very clear. Electric collars are fine if you're using them for their intended purpose. No one on earth has ever said, yeah, dude, buy an e-collar to keep your dog on place for 9 hours every day. Yeah, let's just turn your dog into a prop. Yeah, I don't know about that one, dude.
Heard my name and were like, let me look into this guy. A lot of people have reached out. A lot of people have reached out to be like, dude, do you feel all right? Like,
nobody did that. Nobody did that. And you can tell that he's lying. You want to know why? Because Hassan's telling him with the beard. He goes like this all the time, and he goes, whenever he's watched. It happens every time he's going to say something that's going to attempt to make him look good. He's completely making false reality.
A lot of people have reached out to be like, dude, do you feel all right?
Every time.
Like, people are really on your ass. Do you feel okay? Do you feel okay?
Shut the fuck up, bro. Nobody's saying this shit besides Valkyrie. That's because she's dating you.
Okay, I'm like, yeah, of course I feel okay. You want to know why? Because I've been eating this shit from both liberals and right-wing reactionary dickheads.
Oh, man, people are mad at me because I supported terrorism again. I'm just such a victim. Hey, I saw that you said Hezbollah was based and that the Houthis were based.
All right, now I'm collecting food.
Deal with it. Good lord. Good lord. I love this false reality that he's painting to make anybody think that anybody gives a fuck about him. Everything that's happened to Hassan is by his own doing. No one should feel bad for this man.
Since October 8, 2023, like I eat it from all of these other fucking dipshits on this lineup, right? All of these other reactionary right-wing dick.
Do you want to know why he's showing this? It's because it's one of the few graphs that he's actually bigger than it has been going on. And he really wanted to show that off to make you think that he's worth a damn. He wanted to so bad.
On this lineup on a daily basis. And then I just have to sit there and eat it from the
This was 2 years ago, by the way. My, how times have changed.
Democrats too. Holy shit! I just have to sit there and get
Well, that's not what I wanted.
From centrist right-wing Democrats.
Yeah, why don't you say what they're shitting on you for, Hassan? They're shitting on you for supporting terrorism and hating the country you live on. By the way, why are you pretending that these other creators on Rumble are bigger than you, Hassan? I thought you said Rumble was all botted political grifters, so what do you mean, man? What do you mean? So anyways, that's another scenario of Hassan somehow still feeling bad for himself. In reality, he is the product of his own undoing, and yes, he is a complete retard. We have a clip about Hassan. Child marriage legal? Asmongold pathetically tries to dismiss Epstein files as being important to talk about and goes on about how Muslims should fix their child marriage problem first. He soon discovers that the U.S. still has this problem after using Grok. Anyone trying to compare child marriage in Iran versus the USA is trying to obfuscate Philia. Intentional misunderstanding as always. Iran doesn't need the Epstein files, it has its own version. They're called the marriage records. Incredible flatback, and there is Hassan once again signal boosting anything that can make his op Asmongold look bad in a pathetic attempt to hopefully garner more viewers for him. But I'm sorry, Hassan.
I still got pulled pork I gotta eat.
Your dog to stay in the same space for 9 hours every single day. We have even more. We have Asmongold going in on the AFD's rumored immigration plan.
I've got nothing against people of color. I just don't like Islam.
You always eat Wendy's.
Are basically racists. I mean, essentially what they're trying to do is drive hundreds of thousands, millions of people out of their country. I mean, the AFD, some of them.
Exactly correct. That is exactly correct. The goal is to mass deport those people. That is 100, and not only to mass deport them, but also deport the rest of their families and their kids. The whole thing. That's the goal. And thank God now we have people, now we're able to say it. Now we're able to say it.
Yeah, for a long time you weren't able to say it. There's a lot of countries that are going to shit because they're being overrun by illegal immigrants or even mass migrating of migrants who refuse to integrate into our society. And then they attack the people who are the normal, rightful citizens of that country. All the time. And that's all they do. And they make everybody so afraid of the "you're racist" word. Oh my God. Oh no. We notice patterns. This is so bad. They come in, they refuse to integrate, they rape all the women, and then they say, well, actually, it's the white people's fault. Actually, it's the white people's fault. You know what was a staggering statistic I found out? The 2024 statistic of black men raping white women to white men raping black women. I'm not sure if you guys ever looked this up. In 2024,
no, I'm still trying to find. I didn't even know I had that. Everything I need.
Guess how many white men?
Like I can't find silver. I found gold someplace. I don't know where. But there's still a bunch of shit I need to find, and right now I don't like swimming around at night. Because that's most of the time when I get freaking murdered.
But the reality is,
so now I'm just kind of hanging out until daytime.
Number one, if you're coming to our country,
and once daytime comes, I'm going to explore some more. Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you.
As long as you're here and your objective is to work hard and make this country better, I don't care. Right? If you're here illegally, get the fuck out. If you're here legally and you're bitching about the country nonstop and you're making the country
I haven't found a way to sleep yet.
That's the fucking truth. And here's the other thing. If you are in this country and you are still bitching about
I might as well take a couple tokes while I'm waiting.
Get the fuck out. Okay? You don't know what you're talking about. Your IQ's too fucking low to read a fucking history book. If you are still going after white people for slavery, you're retarded. You can't read. You have no correct version of reality on what actually happened in history. You want to be a victim your entire life. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not on welfare collecting EBT and stimulus checks from Donald Trump because of slavery that happened 120, 140 some odd years ago.
Apparently, when iDubbbz apologized to Ethan Klein, he was full of crap. And it was all just so he could avoid a lawsuit. Let's get straight into it.
This is fantastic, you guys. Ian has issued an apology for making the silly joke that I molest my children. By the way, Karen, do you have a problem with that? That your bestie Anissa says I molest my children? You fucking degenerate loser.
I feel bad for the kid. I only feel bad for the kids in this instance.
Had Scorched Lagoon on in a while.
Scorched Lagoon is his alter ego, the dragon. The $1,
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
yes.
That's so funny. Everybody liked it. It was the only time people actually watched and supported his channel. It was when he did this dumbass dragon thing, because he was involved in the beef. He stopped doing it. And by the way, Danny patrons, they're dropping, because you spent months and months directly interfacing and shouting out a vile, disgusting, degenerate snark, and all the same people on Twitter. Now suddenly you change your heart. I wonder if there's another reason. I feel like a lot of people reacted to this, and it's so funny because I'm the only one who has that additional
I need
context
silver
that makes
for
this
it. I
make sense,
gotta swim around and try to find silver.
So stand back and stand by. So, no, you platformed it because you're a fucking cowardly loser, right? And you thought it was fucking cute to platform this horrific.
It doesn't tell me what I pick up.
Thing. I mean, that honestly, I would never say that about any, like that's something like, okay, bro, you've clearly lost.
Yeah,
I'm finding a lot of these alien eggs.
For that. To help spread
or creature eggs or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Lies about someone and their children. You're accusing them of being a PDF just because your feelings was hurt. I want to be clear. That's what all this is. It's not off of any actual evidence. It's based on hurt feelings. His feelings was hurt. So because of that, now Ethan Klein and his family have to deal with disgusting, foul, horrible, slanderous lies being told on them. Not just this one time, for a long time. Because there's crazies that would just believe any nasty thing that they can come up with or hear just because they don't like you. Oh, I disagree with your politics. Now I have to automatically believe anything disgusting that is made up about you now. And not only that, I gotta push it forever. There's people still lying on Michael Jackson years after the fact. Because, oh, I heard from another person that heard from another person. So iDubbbz was comfortable putting that out there, spreading misinformation, lying on someone, involving someone's children. What? You was okay with that? iDubbbz is a disgusting individual.
Yeah, I got this habitat builder.
Everyone who affiliates with him, who's around him,
I had the batteries. I mean, I could make the batteries, so I gotta find silver to make the wiring kits. I need silver ore. I got everything to make the computer chip, I just need to find silver. I mean, I gotta recollect the copper and shit for my batteries.
And then when you ask iDubbbz, why'd you do this?
Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to look for it. No, I found gold.
Doesn't get this kind of treatment. Huh? And you're saying that like as if Frogan has a harder time?
There's copper.
When no one's making
I'll be right to make batteries.
Law and Order SVU level things.
Ah! That's those fuckers.
They're just making a few jokes about how she looks like, you know, what's the character from Star Wars? Jabba. They're just saying that Frogan look like Jabba. Hey man, there's no harm. You shouldn't be that offended to where you're trying to destroy someone's life. iDubbbz is a pretty horrible, nasty, sick-ass individual. I'm editing myself. It's pretty sick.
The second iDubbbz stopped talking about us happened to coincide when I took into my service some fine Canadian lawyers. That's right, lawyers that specialize in defamation. And by the way, I really don't think that's okay thing to put out. Some fine Canadian defamation lawyers that sent a letter to Anissa and Ian demanding a retraction and a halting of the defamatory statements that I made to my children. And the day after that, the scorched lagoon was slain like smog. There was only one skill shown, and it was the threat of a lawsuit. That's right. It's not because they're principled. It's not because he's above it. In fact, they're hurting bad. Look at him. His shit is fucking falling off so hard. It's crazy how hard it's falling off.
So iDubbbz didn't have this change of heart and feel like, you know what? I'm gonna start showing some more empathy. Let me stop saying nasty, slanderous things.
Oh, I found some lead. I don't even know where I found the lead from.
And accusing them of the worst
I just gotta,
on the planet.
guess I just gotta swim around smushing rocks.
Just fair. He went that far, did all of this, and then tried to act like I felt bad for it, so I stopped.
Oh, there's a cave over there. Kind of look
That's what
around in the
made
ravine for
you back down?
rocks I could
That's what got you
smush.
to
Let's swim through
chill
here.
out?
What is that? That's
Horrible,
more
bro.
quartz.
Like,
I don't
this
need more
man
quartz.
is a very just disturbed individual. Anyone who's willing to go to that level of extreme demonic behavior just because someone gave an opinion that you disagree with or you don't like them. I mean, think about it. They used to be friends. If I used to be friends with somebody, even if I don't rock with them no more,
I usually end up doing stuff like that.
Campaign to try to destroy their lives and reputation. I'm not gonna do that. Now, if you're within the internet world and you're doing content unbiasedly, right? You just
I think I just found some.
and giving your opinions. That's one thing.
I found some silver. I don't know if it's enough. I want to keep looking.
Had nothing to do with nothing. He went way too far while doing that. So.
And it doesn't tell you what you got.
What the hell is wrong with him? Why do it in the first place?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Does sue him.
Oh, it's that thing.
Please sue the hell out of him. And then sue Hassan Piper.
That's just because I end up collecting a bunch of rocks.
You know, iDubbbz is Hassan Jr. His husband is the junior, and he's the junior under her. So anyway, I digress.
It was literally the day he stopped talking about it, right? He doesn't talk about the snark anymore. He doesn't talk about me anymore. And they're, by the way, desperately. Unfortunately, this is the ultimate irony, and I love this. America, love America.
Oh, fuck that guy.
While they're threatening to sue him, because in our great state, we have anti-SLAPP laws that make it extraordinarily difficult to sue public figures for defamation. And we have this extreme appreciation for free speech in the First Amendment. Now, let me tell you something. Ian, he hates America. He wants to get as far away as possible. He thinks this place sucks. So he moved to the northern wall and pledged to the Night Watch. But let me tell you something about Canada, the North. Defamation laws ain't quite the same up there. And when I spoke to an attorney about it and showed it to him, they're like, yeah, no, this is quite bad. This is definitely actionable here in Canada.
I really do hope that he sues iDubbbz. I want consequences for that. Set an example. I don't think it's okay to just make up things about people because your feelings are hurt. And there's too many people that think that that's okay on the internet. They think that that's like cute or something. Like, ooh, my feelings are hurt. Remind you, just the person.
Yeah, I need one more silver. God damn it.
So much empathy. I feel bad for Ethan Klein and his wife. And then not long after, he's doing things like this. Spreading just disturbing lies.
I hope I get better weapons, man.
Ethan Klein, because it's fun to him. Maybe even projection. I don't know.
In California, you could say that. Could have said that. But in Canada...
Why do you think we do our show here?
Exactly. You think I could do this show in Edmonton? But now that you're in Canada, I found me a Canadian lawyer who's pretty gung-ho about suing you. And I might just do that. And, you know, he's groveling.
Wait, he's apologized.
Yeah, but the damages stuff.
So this apology was not... Because I see people... They're taking this to mean that you threatened them, and that in response he's apologizing. No, he's
We're in
doing
talks.
Oh, okay.
They're desperate to prevent litigation.
Gotcha.
And they've preemptively apologized out of pure patheticness. But in my opinion, because there's no agreement.
God damn.
You just want to go, oh, I'm so sorry. Please, my principles.
Be sorry. Think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think that iDubbbz went way too far, bro. I think he was out of line. I think his husband Anissa was definitely out of line for jumping in like she usually do and encouraging it. Like, I want to see them receive consequences for it. I don't think it's okay to lie on somebody. You like purposely are lying and platforming just the worst things that could ever be said about someone just because your feelings are hurt. That's some of the worst to me. But tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Hit the hype button. Watch more videos, all that good stuff. What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to talk about the quartering. Apparently, someone who used to work with him, Sydney Watson, she spoke out, and it's bad. Let's check this out. We're going to be getting the clips from a channel called Grifter. We're going to get straight into it too as well. It's a lot of horrible stuff. Damn, quartering. In high school, you was the man, quartering. What happened to you? That was a quote from 50 Cent. 1927. That is not the correct date.
So she said she didn't want to come on the show for a certain reason, and it's because the quartering has threatened her directly with something. Okay, and the other person, there's another person involved. There's multiple people involved that have threatened her with something. Okay. So she didn't want to do it. Now this changes pretty quickly, I'm gonna be honest. And we start getting pretty much in the nitty-gritty. I said, of course, that's what I imagined. I kind of got the vibe there was a bad falling out because, you know, she alluded to that immediately from the beginning. She says, yes, I fucking hate him. Which I was like, oh. He literally could have made me less of an enemy if he just shut his fat face when damn, but he could not help himself. I said all this happened because of his own words, and she's like, I would love to come on, but I'm intensely private. Jeremy, I'm paraphrasing, Jeremy he knows some information and that she doesn't want out, and he keeps threatening to basically box all of her information if she ever speaks out about any of it. Or I said, you're right about that. As someone right in the middle of the stuff, Jeremy has little to no recourse. No one believes anything he says, but you're right, better safe than sorry. Because Jeremy is obviously going to make up stuff left and right and center. She says he's such a liar. He used to call me drunk too, say all kinds of shit. And we're gonna get to that, by the way. I got to the point where I had to record all of our calls because he says all this crap and then immediately walks it back the next day. So I said, I think he's trying to garner sympathy or something. Dude's a strange dude. He claimed he's gonna expose me on X and then walks it back the next day. Just like he did with Craig, just like he did with everybody else. Yellow Flash, he's gonna scorch earth and expose all of us. She says he gets drunk, talks insane shit, then he sobers up and realizes it's a bad idea.
That's crazy. Drunk calling is nasty work. And ain't the quartering like married? Too many things stacking up on top of each other that just make him look like a horrible piece of crap. But I got a feeling it's gonna get worse. But yeah, if you're employing someone, you shouldn't be drunk calling them and trying to do or say anything crazy, right? If you work with someone in general, you shouldn't be doing that either. So yeah, either way, he was going way too far and bugging out.
So Jeremy claimed that he gave Sydney Watson $250,000 and she just pocketed the money. She pocketed it, boys. She just kept the money and just betrayed Jeremy for no reason. Actually, one thing I do want to put on the record, despite the lies Jeremy told, I was the only person who never got paid a single cent when the Publica thing was happening. Jeremy might have fronted the whole thing financially, but also every dollar went to him. And when I asked to see the books, he'd give me the runaround, or when I asked if I could buy him out, he kept insisting I give him 100 or 200K. He pulled these random numbers out of his ass. What caused me to start to distance myself and dislike him immensely actually had to do with my tea company. You guys ready? When I was gearing up to launch, he said he would do my fulfillment for me from his 3PL. So we had a lot of phone conversations about costs, etc. He said he wasn't trying to make money off of me, and I said, great! Maybe we can help you get better shipping rates for your coffee with the increased quantity of shipments, including my tea. I don't expect people to make $0, but I understand business. I thought it was so cool he prepared to break even to help me. Like, wow, it's awesome, right? We agreed on $250 per box. We took this to mean per completed box. He ended up charging me $2.50 per item. He was charging her 5 times more. So I'm in it for $18 just to get a single package shipped with him. Even in the most expensive places, $2.50 per item is insane. So my first bill from him was lunacy. And it was my entire profit margin. When I asked him about this, he said, "You should have structured your business better." There was no negotiating with him either. His attitude was basically suck it. So I pulled my product. He so kindly offered to pay to have it shipped to Texas. I think he paid half, but it cost me thousands of dollars to get it back here, and he crippled my fledgling business all so he can make a few extra bucks. All right, there we go. He has threatened to sue me, leak my DMs, dox her basically. You know, like the thing that Jeremy claims people are doing to him? He claims people are doing this to him. That's what he intended on doing to Sydney Watson. That's what he threatened her with. He was going to expose all of the personal, private people in her life.
My birthday's Monday.
And then also sue her, I guess?
Yeah, the quartering's nasty. That's even worse. So it wasn't like she was his employee. She was supposed to be a partner, and he still tried to get over on her. Oh man, that is horrible. What the hell is wrong with the quartering? Bro, it just seems like every day is something new when it comes to him being exposed for his nasty behavior, bro. Wow. I used to watch him and I stopped watching him a while ago because I could kind of tell that there was like a change going on, right? Like the mask was slipping and then the grifting was increasing. But I didn't think it was going to be this bad. This is horrible.
I asked specifically, did he ever imply or do anything creepy, like in these drunk calls or anything? Thinking back to the Renfrere stuff and how he acts. She responded, yes. She said, when we first met in 2021-ish, he was in Dallas for some event, and we all went to a bar. I met a dude that night who I went on to a date, and that guy and I talked the whole time. I drove Jeremy back to his hotel with 2 other people in the car. The whole time he was going on about how he wanted to fight the guy I was talking to, and basically saying he'd fight him for me. He'd get drunk and randomly text me boobs or some similar shit. But yeah, I perceived what he was doing, at least in the early days, as hitting on me, and I made it super clear I'm not interested.
Yeah, on the way home, Jeremy was telling me that he's going to beat this guy up and he's going to fight him. And I was like, what's giving you this indication that you're going to fight another man to, I guess for me, like not for me as in on behalf of me, but for me as in to conquer, to take a woman back to cave. Like that was the vibe. And I was like, dude, I don't know what's giving you the indication that this is acceptable behavior, because at that point, you know, he'd been cool. Like, you know, he'd been someone who I was talking to about other relationships. We'd sort of talked about bits and bobs to do with our personal lives and things, and I was like, oh, this is like a friend. This is a friend, not someone who's interested in me. And that was when I was like, oh, Christ, no, sir, no.
Yeah, that's nasty work right there. Whoa. Going over lines like a mother effer. So you just decide, hey, I'ma fight for her honor. Yeah, and if I win, she comes home with me. What about your wife? What about your wife? So we gonna pretend like she don't exist? Y'all are colleagues, bro. You should have minded your business. The moment you seen her getting some play, you should have went on with your day. Okay, I didn't mean for that to rhyme. That's crazy. That's why I just played a nasty song.
Yeah. You nasty fan, you nasty. You nasty fan, you nasty. You nasty fan, you nasty.
There was something I feel like I don't really need this either.
Out of pocket. The quartering is on a different level of falling off. Like I've seen people fall off before, but this is steep. I don't know if he gonna climb up. That's why he keeps stealing content and doing these nasty shorts where he's taking other people's stuff and just saying, hey, look at this, and playing someone else's video You ain't gonna add nothing. You ain't gonna stop it, do some commentary at all. No, you're just gonna keep milking the shorts algorithm. Well, we see what happened in just early things. See how it worked for her.
Do you know anything about this weird situation in his personal life with this bull guy?
I don't, and I think, like I said, this to me is the sort of territory I don't want to get into, because as much as I don't like Jeremy and I think he's a butthole, and I know he's gonna, like, I'm gonna just say this ahead of time, he is going to lose his shit about me saying any of this. And like, as soon as you started this stream and I was tuning in, I was like, oh, I'm like, so one of the things he's threatened me with is that a girl I formerly worked with, things didn't go well, we had a fallout. She leaked a bunch of private chats to him where I trashed the shit out of him, and I want that to be really clear. I said some not nice stuff. So yeah, I was a very, very nasty person in DMs to friends of mine, just by the way, just mates of mine that I trusted implicitly. Well, silly me, I guess. Yeah, so DMs were leaked to him, and when the Publica was ending, one of the things that we wanted to do, because I love the team, I called everybody that I knew who could possibly connect me with an investor. I ended up meeting somebody just by chance at an event, and he was like, yeah, I'll help you fundraise to start a new project. And so at this point, Jeremy was constantly calling me going, oh, you owe me hundreds of thousands of dollars for this website. And I was so stressed out. I was in the middle of this lawsuit. I was in a weird place financially, like I definitely didn't have a ton of money. And so I said to him, I made out like my financial position was worse than it was in order to extricate myself. I wanted him to feel bad, and I wanted him to be like, oh, I'm doing her a favor. I get to wear my nice guy hat and let her go from this project. And he did. And he did. And, you know, I know that's manipulative, and I know that's cheeky, but that's the thing that's been eating at me that I don't want him to expose. I totally did that.
Yeah, the quartering is pretty shifty, as far as I'm concerned, fam. I've heard enough for me to say, yeah, I wouldn't want to be around them. I'm cool, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be similar, right? I just will stay in whatever lane that I am, building my audience. Shout outs to you guys, the Fang Gang. And then I'm cool, because I'm never going to let success change my character and have me out here wilding out in these streets. That's crazy. But tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Hit the like button, share more videos, and watch more videos, all that other stuff. Appreciate you guys. Oh, and join my Discord. The link should be in the description, if I remember to put it there. What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to talk about the quartering. Apparently, someone who used to work with him, Sydney Watson, she spoke out, and it's bad. Let's check this out. We're going to be getting the clips from a channel called Grifter. We're going to get straight into it too as well. It's a lot of horrible stuff. Damn, quartering. In high school, you was the man, quartering. What happened to you? That was a quote from 50 Cent, 1927. That is not the correct date.
So she said she didn't want to come on the show for a certain reason, and it's because the quartering has threatened her directly with something. Okay, and the other person, there's another person involved. There's multiple people involved that have threatened her with something. Okay, so she didn't want to do it. Now this changes pretty quickly, I'm gonna be honest, and we start getting pretty much in the nitty gritty. I said, of course, that's what I imagined. I kind of got the vibe there was a bad falling out, because, you know, she alluded to that immediately from the beginning. She says, yes, I fucking hate him, which I was like, oh. He literally could have made me less of an enemy if he just shut his fat fucking face when damn. But he could not help himself. I said all this happened because of his own words, and she's like, I would love to come on, but I'm intensely private. Jeremy, I'm paraphrasing, Jeremy he knows some information, and that she doesn't want out, and he keeps threatening to basically dox all of her information if she ever speaks out about any of it. Or I said, you're right about that. As someone right in the middle of the stuff, Jeremy has little to no recourse. No one believes anything he says, but you're right, better safe than sorry. Because Jeremy is obviously going to make up stuff left and right and center. She says he's such a liar. He used to call me drunk too, say all kinds of shit. And we're gonna get to that, by the way. I got to the point where I had to record all of our calls because he says all this crap and then immediately walks it back the next day. So I said, I think he's trying to garner sympathy or something. Dude's a strange dude. He claimed he's gonna expose me on X and then walks it back the next day. Just like he did with Craig, just like he did with everybody else. Yellow Flash, he's gonna scorch earth and expose all of us. She says he gets drunk, talks insane shit, and then he sobers up and realizes it's a bad idea.
That's crazy. Drunk calling is nasty work. And ain't the quartering like married? Too many things stacking up on top of each other that just make him look like a horrible piece of crap. But I got a feeling it's gonna get worse. But yeah, if you're employing someone, you shouldn't be drunk calling them and trying to do or say anything crazy, right? If you work with someone in general, you shouldn't be doing that either. So yeah, either way, he was going way too far and bugging out.
So Jeremy claimed that he gave Sydney Watson $250,000 and she just pocketed the money. She pocketed it, boys. She just kept the money and just betrayed Jeremy for no reason. Actually, one thing I do want to put on the record, despite the lies Jeremy told, I was the only person who never got paid a single cent when the Publica thing was happening. Jeremy might have fronted the whole thing financially, but also every dollar went to him. And when I asked to see the books, he'd give me the runaround. Or when I asked if I could buy him out, he kept insisting on 100 or 200K. He pulled these random numbers out of his ass. What caused me to start to diss myself and dislike him immensely actually had to do with my tea company. You guys ready? When I was gearing up to launch, he said he would do my fulfillment for me from his 3PL. So we had a lot of phone conversations about costs, etc. He said he wasn't trying to make money off of me, and I said, great! Maybe we can help you get better shipping rates for your coffee with the increased quantity of shipments, including my tea. I don't expect people to make $0, but I understand business. I thought it was so cool he prepared to break even to help me. Like, wow, it's awesome, right? We agreed on $250 per box. We took this to mean per completed box. He ended up charging me $2.50 per item. He was charging her 5 times more. So I'm in it for $18 just to get a single package shipped with him. Even in the most expensive places, $2.50 per item is insane. So my first bill from him was fucking lunacy. And it was my entire profit margin. When I asked him about this, he said, you should have structured your business better. There was no negotiating with him either. His attitude was basically suck it. So I pulled my product. He so kindly offered to pay to have it shipped to Texas. I think he paid half, but it cost me thousands of dollars to get it back here, and he crippled my fledgling business all so he can make a few extra bucks. All right, there we go. He has threatened to sue me, leak my DMs, dox her basically. You know, like the thing that Jeremy claims people are doing to him? He claims people are doing this to him. That's what he intended on doing to Sydney Watson. That's what he threatened her with. He was going to expose all of the personal, private people in her life. And then also sue her, I guess?
Yeah, the quartering's nasty. That's even worse. So it wasn't like she was his employee. She was supposed to be a partner, and he still tried to get over on her. Oh man, that's horrible. What the hell is wrong with the quartering? Bro, it just seems like every day is something new when it comes to him being exposed for his nasty behavior, bro. Wow. I used to watch him and I stopped watching him a while ago because I could kind of tell that there was like a change going on, right? Like the mask was slipping and then gripping was increasing. But I didn't think it was going to be this bad. This is horrible.
I asked specifically, did he ever imply or do anything creepy, like in these drunk calls or anything? Thinking back to the Renfrere stuff and how he acts. She responded, yes. She said, when we first met in 2021-ish, He was in Dallas for some event, and we all went to a bar. I met a dude that night who I went on to a date, and that guy and I talked the whole time. I drove Jeremy back to his hotel with 2 other people in the car. The whole time he was going on about how he wanted to fight the guy I was talking to, and basically saying he'd fight him for me. He'd get drunk and randomly text me boobs or some similar shit. But yeah, I perceived what he was doing, at least in the early days, as hitting on me, and I made it super clear I'm not interested.
Yeah, on the way home, Jeremy was telling me that he's going to beat this guy up and he's going to fight him. And I was like, what's giving you this indication that you're going to fight another man to, I guess for me, like not for me as on behalf of me, but for me as in to conquer, to take a woman back to cave. Like that was the vibe. And I was like, dude, I don't know what's giving you the indication that this is acceptable behavior, because at that point, you know, he'd been cool. Like, you know, he'd been someone who I was talking to about other relationships. We'd sort of talked about bits and bobs to do with our personal lives and things. And I was like, oh, this is like a friend. This is a friend, not someone who's interested in me. And that was when I was like, oh, Christ, no, sir, no.
Yeah, that's nasty work right there. Whoa. Going over lines like a mother effer. So you just decide, hey, I'ma fight for her honor. Yeah, and if I win, she comes home with me. What about your wife? What about your wife? So we gonna pretend like she don't exist? Y'all are colleagues, bro. You should have minded your business. The moment you seen her getting some play, you should have went on with your day. Okay, I didn't mean for that to rhyme. That's crazy. That's why I just played a nasty song.
You nasty fan, you nasty. You nasty fan, you nasty. You nasty fan, you nasty. You nasty fan, you know your name.
Out of pocket. A quartering is on a different level of falling off. Like I've seen people fall off before, but this is steep. I don't know if he's gonna climb up. That's why he keeps stealing content and doing these nasty shorts where he's taking other people's stuff and just saying, hey, look at this, and playing someone else's video. You ain't gonna add nothing. You ain't gonna stop it and do some commentary at all. No, you're just gonna keep milking the shorts algorithm. Well, we see what happened to Just Pearly Things. See how it worked for her.
Do you know anything about this weird situation in his personal life with this bull guy?
I don't, and I think, like I said, this to me is the sort of territory I don't want to get into, because as much as I don't like Jeremy and I think he's a butthole, and I know he's gonna, like, I'm gonna just say this ahead of time, he is going to lose his shit about me saying any of this. And like as soon as you started this stream and I was tuning in, I was like, oh, I'm like, so one of the things he's threatened me with is that a girl I formerly worked with, things didn't go well, we had a fallout. She leaked a bunch of private chats to him where I trashed the shit out of him, and I want that to be really clear. I said some not nice stuff. So yeah, I was a very, very nasty person in DMs to friends of mine, just by the way. Just mates of mine that I trusted implicitly. Well, silly me, I guess. Yeah, so DMs were leaked to him, and when the Publica was ending, one of the things that we wanted to do, because I love the team, I called everybody that I knew who could possibly connect me with an investor. I ended up meeting somebody just by chance at an event, and he was like, yeah, I'll help you fundraise to start a new project. And so at this point, Jeremy was constantly calling me going, oh, you owe me hundreds of thousands of dollars for this website. And I was so stressed out. I was in the middle of this lawsuit. I was in a weird place financially, like I definitely didn't have a ton of money. And so I said to him, I made out like my financial position was worse than it was in order to extricate myself. I wanted him to feel bad, and I wanted him to be like, oh, I'm doing her a favor. I get to wear my nice guy hat and let her go from this project. And he did. And he did. And, I know that's manipulative and I know that's shitty, but that's the thing that's been eating at me that I don't want him to expose. I totally did that.
Yeah, the quartering's pretty shifty. As far as I'm concerned, fam, I've heard enough for me to say, yeah, I wouldn't want to be around them. I'm cool, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be similar, right? I just will stay in whatever lane that I am, building my audience. Shout outs to you guys, the Fan Gang. And then I'm cool, because I'm never going to let success change my character. It had me out here wilding out in these streets. That's crazy. Let's check out the locale iDubbbz. Hopefully his husband, Anissa, doesn't just jump on stream for no reason. Said you wanted to quit. But yeah, let's see what he has to say. It's gonna be more crying.
Did you block Felted Imp by any chance? Dude was wilding about you and Anissa on Twitter. He shouldn't be back here. Oh, no, I mean, it's whatever. You can wild out wherever you like, so long as it's not in the chat. Oh, you know what? It was probably about him getting all, what do you call it? Puritanical about, like, the mother and daughter, or the daughter on Smothered getting her vajay show, as she called it. He was getting all snowflakey about it. Sup, I'm not really a fan, and I'm sure you already addressed it, but I just found out about the newest PT bullshit through leftovers. Boy, it's time to get a restraining order against that weirdo for you and Anissa, for your own safety. Yeah, I was gonna talk about that briefly today. I felt like it was a good jumping off point, because I do know that there are some drama heads. People like the drama slop a lot, and they, I've definitely weaned myself off of it. But yeah, for those who don't know, and I won't bother showing a video because if you care enough about it, you can look it up.
I think that's just funny. I don't.
EXQC, long time viewer here. Just lost my job at Ryanair. Maybe some help? No? Oh, I thought so.
But I mean, that's not the context, yeah. Can Avi here go? Oh god, I caught that too. Yo. Look at the post it. Yo. I mean, yeah, he's a dedicated hater, is what it is. I mean,
but Ethan had popped open, I don't know, I think it's my snark subreddit, for lack of a better word. And he was like scrolling it or something like that, and I think there was a post about Anissa, or a screenshot of Anissa's story, and so like you can see him in this poker tournament or whatever. He just has his phone out in front of everyone, just like fucking zooming in and taking screenshots of Anissa's story post. It's just, I mean, none of this is a surprise, right? Like, this is what he does on the regular.
Look at him crying again. Bam, I've seen a lot of people talking about this whole Ethan Klein being at a poker game and looking at his phone and having a picture of Anissa there. A lot of people try to make it seem like he was obsessed with her, or he was over there like having a moment, just salivating. Ooh, look at Anissa, how love her outfit. No, that's something iDubbbz would do. What Ethan Klein was more so doing was collecting information for his show. He's probably going to talk about it on his show, so he's like, oh yeah, this picture looks crazy. Let me save it. Creators do that. I do that all the time. I will put something on a playlist that I want to talk about, or I'll take a screenshot so I can remember it. Sometimes I'll screenshot something because it's motivation. Like I'll see like a quote or some kind of philosophy thing. I'm like, this is dope. I want to remember this. Boop, screenshot it. That don't mean that Ethan Klein won him some of Anissa. Were we saying that when you were sitting here pulling up pictures of Ethan Klein wearing like a tank top? What was that? What was the point of that? iDubbbz was tripping, and he was sitting there trying to like recreate the posture and the pose that Ethan Klein was doing. But then, God forbid, Ethan Klein see something that's on your snark you're on his 24/7. Talking about some you out the drama slop. When that happened? Where? Because it ain't now. You're still doing it constantly. And I've been hearing that he might even apologize during this segment. Fam, we don't believe you. You've been trying to fake empathy for like 30 years now. No one's falling for it, except for Hassan Piker fans. And the remaining 3 fans of Anissa. It's like 3 of them there. They ride for her hard, man. One of them's iDubbbz. My bad. I wasn't trying to expose their business like that. One of them's iDubbbz. He's sitting there in the room like, yeah. Oh, looking at his husband, all proud. Sitting over there looking like a ventriloquist dummy. Yeah, looking like Slappy from Goosebumps. My bad. My bad. That's my fault. Sometimes Garfield just is in full effect, man. He has some things to say, and it is what it is.
Fuck.
He's mad. You're not giving me a chance.
I can't really control what he said. Yeah, iDubbbz is definitely a loser. He'll come on here and say a bunch of things about other people that he should be saying to himself. Stuff that you should keep in mind and look in the mirror and like recite to yourself on a daily. You be obsessed. You're the one going after his wife. But anyway, I digress.
He's constantly online. He's not taking, I don't think he's taking any breaks from it. He doesn't think it's unhealthy, apparently. So, I don't know, what are you gonna do? It's weird, but I think this is a good time for me to sort of explain to you guys why I haven't had Scorched Legume on in a while. Scorched Legume was kind of like a way for me to like get involved in the slop. That to be honest, I don't like being. I've said kind of all I wanted to say with the content comp. That's usually my strategy. Is like, this is my opinion. Take it or leave it. I would I would do a what do you call it? A follow-up video. But generally, I want to fucking move on, live my life. But yeah, I kind of like with having the Scorched Legume on. I've been indulging the dark side a little too much at least for me. Right, like I have my own principles, my own values, and I'm like, it allowed me to roll around in the pig shit a little bit more, and there's aspects of that I like, but it's not really like, it doesn't super align with my principles. I think one of the things that sort of like woke me up a little bit is like, okay, wait a minute, I need to take a step back. It's the Destiny thing about Ethan and his kids. That was one of those where I was like, oh man, like, I think I stepped too far out with this one, where it's like, we know the reason that I showed you guys the comment about Ethan and his kids. It's because it's like Destiny's he's a piece of shit, and he has bad intentions. But he's going easy on this guy. Not going easy on Denims, Frogan, Casey Tron, Noah, many others, right?
Going easy? You think making those types of accusations is going easy? Whoa. You drunk? Like, some going on? Is your life okay? Going easy? And this supposed to be the empathy guy. He thinks making up nasty allegations about people's children and them, that's going easy. But what about Frogan and Denims? Why you not going easy on them? When was he going easy on Ethan Klein? You don't think that's something extremely serious? And also, how the hell is your point being conveyed? Like, how is it being presented the right way? That makes no sense. Someone's supposed to see you spreading nasty lies on Ethan Klein and leaving it there while you make weird voices as a message for Destiny should probably take it easier on Denims and Frogan. That's stupid. And it also don't make no sense at all. Like, she's just saying things. You knew you was wrong. That was foul. You was being nasty. Here's the nasty song.
Yeah. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you know you
Emergency power.
The real problem is that iDubbbz don't got nobody that could tell him about himself. Anissa ain't telling him the real deal. Anissa is not telling him, hey, you're being disgusting right now. No, she egging him on. I remember when he did that and he put the post of the nasty allegations about Ethan Klein's children, Anissa was hyping him up. She was running in the room to add her comedic stylings. There is none, by the way, guys. There's not a funny bone in her damn body at all. She had to add her 2 cents and her jokes. Where's her apology? Is Anissa gonna come out and apologize? Is she gonna come out and cry just like iDubbbz is doing? Well, maybe in a different time, right? For a different reason. But is she gonna come out and I'm so sorry. I was wrong for making false allegations against Ethan Klein. I wanted to prove a point with someone else who had nothing to do with Ethan Klein. In order to get them, I punished Ethan Klein. Knowing my audience is a bunch of losers that's just gonna go with whatever I say, I'm gonna have them thinking these nasty lies about Ethan Klein because I don't like Destiny. This guy's a bozo. Like, why would anyone want to listen to him, take him seriously, be around him, watch him? If I go to a grocery store and iDubbbz is there, I'm walking out. I don't want to shop where he shop. He almost made me rethink my whole opinion on Big Bang Theory. Love Sheldon. That's my guy. I'm kind of iffy now. I was like, iDubbbz, you like it? Something might be wrong. Nah, I still rock with Sheldon.
The eyes for lawsuits when it comes to all of them, and that was my reason for showing it. But I was like, you know, after reflecting a little bit more, I'm like, ugh, like I do not want to roll around this pig shit, and I also don't want to. It's not within my principles to put that online, you know. Like, I don't want to spread that because it's just negative and it's not true. I don't believe it. And yeah, it just didn't feel right. So that's why I'm like, you know, trying to take a step back from the scorched legume stuff and not really, you know, not roll around in the pig shit. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Ethan and Ethan's family for putting that nasty Destiny comment out there. I felt like it was an okay thing to do based on, you know,
God damn it.
The point I was making, but gross shit shouldn't be spread like that.
Mr. Empathy guy. Mr. Empathy. You've been saying he learned empathy for years now. And he was like, yeah, I think it's appropriate to say this nasty stuff about Ethan Klein and his family. It makes sense. Even right now, the way he's saying it is so smug. Yes, sorry. I did it because I thought it made sense at the time. You a grown man. This is like a sign that a lot of people, fam, when you watching YouTube, the people that you watching, just take it as content. Like you can't really 100% prove that they really are what they say they are about, unless it takes like years. Like you've been watching them forever, since day one, and they never switched up. When you got guys like iDubbbz out here, people that was huge fans of him, he had this high moral code that he said that he stood by. Man, if old school iDubbbz was to see this iDubbbz and hear him say something like that, a whole 5-hour video might have been created. He put out a huge video going crazy about him. Mr. Either is all okay or none of it's okay. This is disgusting, bro. Like iDubbbz would have popped up on you at a convention, put his arm around you, called you a slur. Not saying I think that's appropriate. I'm just, hearing the two, seeing the difference. Seeing the difference between the two. But yeah, like I was saying, when you're watching a content creator, watch him for a long time before you just sitting there thinking this dude is perfect. Especially if they're not honest, if they're not admitting their flaws.
Trust your guts. Well, thank you, Noodle. It's hard, man. It's hard because they fucking, they chat shit all the time, and it's like, oh, how do I engage? Well, I have to be nasty back. But yeah, I'm gonna try. From what I've seen, it seems like their podcast has slowed down with the specific harassment, publicized harassment, intentional harassment against Anissa and I. I guess what they do in their free time is up to them, but I don't know. I understand how hard it is to get attention online when you're not relying on kind of the easy shit. And the easy shit is like rolling around in drama and, chasing that. But sometimes it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Wait, does he pay you guys, or are you kind of like his voluntary psychiatric technicians? Yeah, it's that. Easy, so easy. Give me something harder next time. She's El Salvadorian, bro? I'm gonna look that up, because if you're wrong, then I'll know you're a troll, and I'll keep you in the Shadow Realm. Where is Penelope Cruz from? She's a Spanish actress, so you just lied to me. Bro, you're an idiot. You're more of an idiot than me. No, you're not an idiot. You're an intentional, what do you call it? It's got a name. A shitter? Intentional shitter? A bad actor? A shit lib? How many people are in the Shadow Realm? We have not done the math yet.
Oh no, the Shadow Realm. The same place your dignity and all your morals was left. That's crazy. Maybe you should go to the Shadow Realm so you could retrieve it. Be a better version of whatever the hell you think you're supposed to be. iDubbbz is a clown, bro. A straight clown. What he did to Ethan Klein is so foul. Even that little bozo apology. Like, you supposed to take that serious? Who's supposed to listen to this guy? Like someone who ain't got no damn sense? Someone who is clearly not of a state of mind where they can see bullcrap. I don't know. I just think everyone got enough damn sense to where they could know he's full of crap. They'd just be like, I can't see who the hell's gonna be like, that was a proper apology. If I was Ethan Klein, I ain't taking that apology. I would go harder. Show the pictures that you was talking about. show what you screenshotted. Do a 5-hour segment about it. Wow. You could sue him. A lot of people are actually saying that this is the reason why iDubbbz is apologizing. He's afraid of a lawsuit. So, sue him. Sue him, definitely. Get him. Get him again. Get him for me. That's a reality TV quote.
I'ma just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
You're gonna check out DSP today. That's a new locale for me that I just started covering. You guys have been asking me to cover him for a while. And I've been finding it very entertaining roasting him and looking into him spurging out. We're about to check him talking about some controller that nobody asked for, but he's going crazy about it. Let's take a look, man. Don't forget to hit the hype button. Watch more videos after this. I have a bunch of other DSP videos I've been doing.
I'm back. And I have it. It's here finally. Some people.
China's complete fealty to the United States was promised to me 3,000 years ago. The Donald has absolutely mogged all of China, all the planes from toppling Venezuela to Iran to China. It all came together beautifully. Leftoids are mad, feminoids are mad, Hassan Piker is mad, Trump's ops are falling apart. The White House is actually pushing remigration messaging for the first time literally in my lifetime. So whenever anyone says we have to vote for Democrats to course correct, it's because they're actually morons. We're on the right course, we just need to go harder. Iran's oil capacity is full, Cuba's about to fall, we got absolute W's on the table everywhere. Goodbye, American Republic, hello, American Empire, and a lot of people might cry, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Lock in, boys and girls. Crazy deep dive today. Gotta cover all the things in the least homosexual way possible. Definitely subscribe. As you can see, the Dunnard absolutely had China by the balls. This is him welcoming Xi Jinping into his own country. Truly a beautiful sight to see. And it got even better. So this is an absolute moron economics professor at Harvard University. All right, let's go. A painting of the end of meritocracy. A meeting of the two largest economies and not one woman at the table. Bitch, you ever considered that's why it's the two largest economies? You get in there and you make it about yourself, woman. But listen, equality is so beautiful, I suggest you start your own trillion-dollar company. Let us know how it's going. People don't like to embrace or accept reality because reality offends them. But this is the end of meritocracy, ladies and gentlemen. Proven with straight-up facts. Acknowledging that there are objective differences between gender is like literally step 0 of you are not a retard. If you have failed that step, then you might be one. All right, all this, men could be women, of course they can. Well, clearly not. Clearly they can't. And clearly they can't the other way around either. There's some areas where men will never be as good at women in it. Like breastfeeding, for example. Men are terrible at that. And there are some areas where women are just not as good at men. That's an objective fact. Biological reality is real, but the left hates that. So this is just absolute cinema. The fact that this is 10 million views of this bitch crying, a painting at the end of meritocracy. This is the end of meritocracy. This is where it leads. This is a summit between two global superpowers. This is not a Disney movie, all right? This isn't Marvel, okay? Hello? This isn't Marvel, all right? The chief of staff is not gonna look like this, okay? All right? Well, where are the women at the Trump-Xi summit, says the New York Times. Straight up retard propaganda. All right, where are the women? Right, this is coming. Dude, I'll be real. I thought the New York Times had it published its worst article yesterday. They published an article about how Israel is training dogs to rape Palestinians. I thought that might have been one of the worst articles I've ever read in my entire life. Actually, an IQ test if you fall for shit like that. But I feel like they topped that literally today. Nearly all the business leaders and officials accompanying President Trump in China are men. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Trump tried. He hired a lot of women when he started the administration because, well, let's just say, you all think Trump is a fascist. Oh, you are not ready. Bro is way too pro-women, ladies. Way. But anyway, they're all fired right now because most of them are not exactly up to par. Again, objectively, women are awesome. Men are awesome. Both made in the image of God. Fundamental to our existence and irreplaceable by each other. Well, welcome to the end of meritocracy, ladies and gentlemen. A meeting between the two largest economies in the world without a single woman at the table. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ever consider why that happened? Now, Rubio has been cooking, all right, because this dude is an enemy of China. You know, he's literally banned from the country. They kind of let him in here. They changed his name to be like, we're not letting in Rubio. We changed his name to Liu. We let in Mr. Liu, not Rubio. All right, so that was basically their entire moment. But Rubio came in anyway, and he obliterated every single communist country out there.
By the way, we've given them humanitarian aid. After the hurricane, we provided them $6 million of humanitarian aid.
$6 million? That seems too high.
$3 million of which is distributed. $3 million of which is still being held up, but is available for them. Now we're saying here's $100 million of humanitarian aid. So I don't know if they watch your broadcast in Cuba, but if they are, the Cuban people should know there's $100 million of food and medicine available for them right now.
Hassan Piker crying in his little in his handkerchief before he gives it to one of his slaves to watch it.
The only reason it's not reaching the Cuban people is because strings attached. The only string attached is it has to be distributed by I don't want non-governmental organizations. Yeah. This can't be humanitarian aid that the government steals for itself.
That's right. Because, you see, we're actually in the middle of overthrowing the government. I love how he's not saying the quiet part out loud. But that is what's happening. We are currently in the midst of overthrowing the government there through absolute economic devastation. So therefore, sorry, you guys are not going to win. Now, everyone's wondering about this Iran situation. See, as far as I stand, in regards to this Iran thing, it was a 1 month long war. And this giant ceasefire is just slowly economically obliterating them while we're on hiatus from all that shit. All right? Essentially, it's gone incredibly well. But the question is, how long are we going to keep economically strangling their nation?
You're much more patient. No, I'm not. They should make a deal. Any sane person would make a deal. But they might be crazy.
True. They might just be crazy, Base. Now, this is
they get a
crazy
lot
also.
out of their oil, 40% of their oil.
This is why the entire Iran situation was so necessary in order for us to basically establish ourselves as the global hegemon, completely and utterly mogging China.
From that location. So what has happened, and one thing I think that we're going to make a deal on, they've agreed they want to buy oil from the United States. They're going to go to Texas. We're going to
That's
say,
right. They got 40% of their oil from Iran. They can't do that shit anymore. They got 20% of their oil from Venezuela. They can't do that shit anymore. Well, don't worry, Bubble. Come into the arms of old Orange Man. I will give you a big hug, and you will give me all of your money. We will give you oil, China. Not only does this absolutely stifle them if we ever need to, but also it's just pretty good business. We have so much more oil now because we're drilling and because we have all of Venezuela's supply. And in an economy without competition, we dictate the prices. All right, because the competition would be what? Iran, which can't get their oil out because of our blockade. Trump came into China and, President Xi looked at him and was like, I Chinese, I have small cock, you have big cock, big American cock. And then we basically forced them to buy all our shit. It was pretty awesome.
sending Chinese ships to Texas and to Louisiana and to Alaska.
That's
and
right, baby.
I think that was another thing that was agreed to. That's a big thing.
That's a big thing.
Liquefied It's not that much longer.
I have a big thing, the biggest thing. I've seen Chinese things, very little things in China.
Us too? Yeah, everything. Energy.
Energy.
That's the one thing they really need.
Shit.
Energy. That's the one thing. They have an insatiable appetite for energy.
Put that up.
We have unlimited energy. You know, we've now under me, but we now produce more than if you combine Saudi Arabia and before the war. If you took Saudi Arabia, Russia, put them together, we're doing twice as much oil and gas as they are. Think of that.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. You know what that was?
You know, when I was first born, the doctor said to my mother, are these triplets? Because they confused my giant balls for extra brothers. But the reality was, it was only I consumed my twin in the womb to become stronger. Anyway, so just a lot of people don't understand what's actually going on. And this was actually just in Congress right now, and I'm really happy this happened because unfortunately,
What do you
so many
need?
people don't realize this. I've been
What do
saying
you?
this forever. I am so
You're
happy
hurting
to
me.
actually have the Senate Commander, Admiral Brad Cooper, saying this publicly.
How long have you been familiar with Iran and its leadership and its attacks against the United States?
I've studied it or been a part of it for the better part of 3 decades, particularly acutely in the last 5 years.
And leading up to February 28th, months prior to that, What was jarring to you that you saw different than what had been for those many decades that you've been involved?
I think it's important to note just in the 30 months before Epic Fury commenced, Iran and its proxies had been attacking U.S. service members and diplomats about 350 times.
Can you repeat that?
Holy
about
shit.
every third day. Iran and its proxies.
Every third day, we have been attacked by Iran every third day over the last 30 months. 350 times in 30 months, whether it's attacking our bases or our service members or someone. That's insane.
Attacked American service members 350 times in the Middle East.
I don't think that Americans were aware of that in the 30 months.
Yeah, that might be because the entire media is literally operating on behest of a foreign power trying their absolute best to cuck us. That might be part of it.
They had attacked Americans or their service members.
I've been saying this shit for a long time. I didn't know the exact numbers, but like they've been attacking us constantly for the last 47 years. What? We were at war with these people for 47 years. Trump ended it, all right? A lot of people are crying and bitching and screaming, but like, my stance is, I'm not gonna fire the first bullet, but if I think you're gonna kill me, or if you've already been killing me, we are going to obliterate you. And winning wars is awesome, actually. I am so tired of these gigantic, wallowing vaginas sitting there being like, well, actually, it's an illegal war. We're not allowed to attack people that are trying to kill us. Fuck you! We should absolutely be killing the people trying to kill us. It's based and it's moral.
350 times. Is that
and international law is also fake and gay.
Is you that I would say that?
Right? So she's asking, would it surprise you if she said that Americans didn't know we've been attacked 350 times in the last 30 months?
That I don't believe that everyday American going to work knew that?
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
The actions of proxies in Iraq and Syria.
That's right, and that includes the Houthis bombing our boats. It includes Hezbollah blowing up our military bases. That includes Hamas constantly fucking with everybody they can. Gigantic rapist pedophiles. All right, like understand that's all proxies of Iran attacking us everywhere.
As well as
that's not even including attacking our allies, like the Houthis attacking Saudi Arabia or Hamas attacking Israel. Like, we're not even getting into that.
The Houthis, that's simply the fact of what happened.
So, according to Admiral Brad Cooper, testifies under oath, objectively, a fact, roughly 350 times we were attacked in the last 30 months, every third day. That's fucking crazy. And if that's not enough of a reason to wipe these fuckers off the map, I don't know. I don't know what is. These people are literally like, well, actually, we're not gonna stop you until you rape us. All right, we're gonna wait for you to rape us, and then we'll get involved. I'm so tired of this bullshit. Meanwhile, this is Shelby Campbell, a Michigan House candidate. Okay, Democrat, of course. And like, again, this is what we're dealing with.
Quit thanking the troops for...
Quit thanking the troops.
Sacrificing their lives.
Wow.
Let's start saying, hey, government, how about you go fight these wars if you decide? I don't want to thank these men and women who joined the military.
That's crazy.
Because they had no other option.
What are we doing here? These are the best of us. Patriots that put their lives on the line to protect our nation and our country. Stop thanking troops that sacrifice their lives.
Like, they didn't want to go to school. They didn't have the resources. They don't have the knowledge.
What are we even talking about? You think every single military guy is just a complete fucking loser that can't get into school? Like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane.
They don't have people that, like, love them, and they go to the military.
Or they're patriots and heroes and are willing to put their life on the line for our country.
Military preys on vulnerable populations.
So then why, under Trump, is the military so much fucking bigger than the military under Biden? Why is now, people are signing up to the military in record numbers right now, but they weren't a couple of years ago? It's because people are patriotic and love our country. And a Democrat cannot even comprehend that people actually can possibly love their country. Because, I mean, to be fair, it makes sense. The Democrats hate our country. They want to replace our people. They want to import infinite retards to rape us and not deport them. They hate our country. They say it themselves. So why should I be surprised when they're saying stop thanking our troops? How dare, why would they even go to the military? Now Hassan Piker's losing it because obviously Trump got an absolute W in China. Democrats, do not try to engage in China hawkery. Wow. In other words, Democrats, we must be incredibly nice to China. We should suck their toesies. Please do not repeat your mistakes. And the best path forward is peaceful coexistence and cooperation. We have to let China do all the things. Ignore the attempts to smuggle in pathogens, industrial espionage, the disregard for intellectual property, the foreign police force presence in the U.S. China is good. Yeah, I know that literally a mayor of Arcadia in California was just arrested for being a Chinese spy, but it's because China loves us so much. Actual traitor. Like a literal traitor. Don't trust China. China is asshole. True. Translation. Please, 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 just let China invade and annex Taiwan without protest. Exactly. Churro. Churro. This is fucking insane. Now, it's been getting wild because Iran is also out of everything. They're literally out of everything. Iran is out of oil. Their oil storage is maxed. They're choking on their oil.